أعوذ بالله من الشيطان.
Oh my god, that's a f***ing person.
Eres una blanca con negro, compa.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Steve here, and today I've got a collection of clips ranging from an ape delivering a speech to an incoming zombie cicada invasion that might just leave you shocked. Ready? Let's jump in. What do you see? I'm not the only one who finds it hard to subscribe, right? Initially, I thought I was looking at a camel when the clip started, but as the clip progressed and the one filming got closer, I realized that the creature was too small and maybe docile to be a camel. I then waited for whatever it was to open its eyes, but after a few seconds, I realized that the part of the head I thought the eyes would be had nothing there. In fact, it looks like the eyes and face would be around the area I expected the nose to be. Do you see it, or am I losing it? Anyway, after watching the clip multiple times and staring for minutes, I'm unable to make out what the creature is. Perhaps I've looked at so many paranormal clips that I struggle with the normal now. Can you guys help? If this is an obvious one, please be kind to me in the comments section below because I can't make it out. If it's not something usual, then what do you guys think we're dealing with here? I'll be reading the comments. As if that wasn't strange enough, at least for me, we've got this clip too. The clip starts off by showing a living area, then we see the dog move ahead to inspect something. After a few seconds, it retreats and we don't know why. However, if you pay attention to the clip, you noticed a shadow attempting to hit the dog where it stood. Seeing it, the dog retreats to avoid getting hit. That's definitely not normal, right? This had myself and the whole team wondering what could have taken a shadow form and attempted to hit the dog for no reason. Some members of the team thought it was a shadow creature, while others thought it had to be a spirit. We kept brainstorming and analyzing the clip, trying to nail down the definite cause of the dog's behavior. After an hour, Julius, our science whiz, walks in, looks at the clip, then says it's fake, and then goes out again. I chase after him to ask why, and he states that the shadow creature looks like a hand. Someone could have been standing off camera and creating the shadows to scare the dog. I must say I didn't like this explanation very much because it didn't make us look smart at all. I laughed at Julius and told him it was not possible, but came back to evaluate my life. Guys, take a look at the clip and let us know. Do you think Julius is right, or are we right to think there's an entity there? Standing by for your feedback.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. شو هذا؟ أعوذ بالله. تعال شكل بنت. يي.
Now, I've seen a lot of strange things in my day, but this is a whole new level of weirdness. We're not told where this was filmed, only that a man was exploring an area when he came across this. It looks like a tiny woman dressed in interesting clothes sitting in the middle of nowhere. When I first saw this, I thought it had to be a movie scene, but it doesn't look like it. This left me with one thought. She's either a spirit, goddess, or simply put, a witch. I know that sounds stereotypical, but how do you explain this? Anyway, share your thoughts. I'd really like to hear them.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. شو هذا؟ أعوذ بالله. تعال شكل بنت. يي. بسم الله الرحمن.
If you thought that was weird, wait till you see this next one. Yep. They look like they belong to a dragon. Don't ask me how I know that, well, they just do. The question now is, what is such a creature doing in such a place? I was getting ready to do a full expose on how dragons may be hiding in our forests until I took a second look at the clip. Those hands look like they belong to something rather enormous and huge. If they do, then holding on to such a branch should have caused it to break or at least sway due to its weight. But here's the case, the branch is barely affected. This brought me to a conclusion. Either that's a super branch or the clip is fake. Which do you think it is? Do demons and demon lords exist? And before you say no, take a look at this clip. Who or what is that? Am I the only one who sees a possible demonic overlord with horns? Now that I've said it out loud, it sounds ridiculous, but hear me out. You see the garment and possible horn, right? Tell me that doesn't look like a demon overlord. Well, it's either a demon overlord out there deciding whether to destroy those is watching over, or there's a man with a sick Halloween costume. What's your money on? Imagine you're out there doing your job when something suddenly squeals, startling you. You pause to find out what it is, and it's this guy. Quick question, what exactly is that? Well, I don't know. It doesn't look like any land animals we know, and try as I may, it didn't come up in the numerous searches I did, which is odd since it was basically hiding in the soil. I thought of it being a mole, but I don't know. Anyway, can you guys help? Is this a real animal in our world, or should I start looking to extraterrestrial origins for an explanation? Duendes are small humanoid creatures believed to be very mysterious, originating from Mexican cultures. Like every other paranormal creature, there are questions about whether they really exist or not. Take a look at this footage. A man was looking out for what he thought to be a rodent when out of nowhere something ran out from behind a wooden box and into a pipe laying on the ground. Take a good look at it again. Do you see that? It's very fast, so it's hard to tell its features. The only thing evident is that it's bipedal. So is this a duende or not? The speed and size of the creature make it difficult to identify clearly, leaving us to wonder about its true nature. What do you think of the whole thing, though? Share your thoughts. Take a look at this next footage taken from a security camera in a home. The dog is seen sitting on the floor, minding its own business. It looks to be chewing something, perhaps a bone or a toy. Out of nowhere, this happens. An unseen force suddenly moves the dog to the other side of the room. At first, I thought the dog moved by itself, but that would be just unnatural. Having looked at the clip several times, I agree it's quite unusual and disturbing, but I just can't put my finger on what's behind the whole thing. What could have caused this? There are no visible signs of anything or anyone around that could have moved the dog so abruptly. Is it a paranormal occurrence, or is there a more logical explanation we might be missing? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Would you say it's best that dinosaurs no longer exist? Considering what we know about them, humans might not exist for long if these massive creatures came out of extinction. I mean, that's exactly what I was thinking when I came across this footage. In the video, we see a large creature lying lifeless on the ground. It has a huge tail, and as the camera gets closer, you realize that what we're looking at is a dragon. Take a look at the horns and the razor-sharp teeth in its slightly open mouth. What is puzzling is the presence of people in protective gear who were trying to touch the creature. Is this real footage of a mythical fire-breathing beast, or could it just be an elaborate art project or special effects? It's hard to say because I can't find any info on this anywhere, but let's hear your thoughts. Have you heard the latest buzz? Cicadas are taking over the country by the trillions, creating a scene straight out of a science fiction novel. These rapid mating insects are not just increasing in numbers, some cicadas can become infected with a fungus that alters their behavior, earning them the nickname zombie cicadas. Each female cicada can lay up to 400 eggs over several weeks, but that's not all. These zombie cicadas release spores that could turn other cicadas into zombies, causing a ripple effect of widespread infection. It's an insect invasion on an unprecedented scale. The impact of this phenomena isn't limited to the ground. Birds that prey on these zombie cicadas can end up hallucinating due to the spores. So it's not just the sheer number of cicadas that's alarming, but the ripple effects on the ecosystem. And then there's the noise. If you've ever heard cicadas in full swing, you know they are loud. Now imagine trillions of them emerging simultaneously, creating a sound comparable to a chainsaw. The constant hum and buzz are said to redefine the meaning of noise pollution. What's a classified captures episode without a little mystery solving? Yeah, that's right. Up next is our bonus segment. Can you guys identify what's on your screen? Remember, I'm not just looking for a name. I would want you to add a genuine fact. I'll be picking the earliest answer with the most interesting fact. May the fastest human, cryptid, or alien win. And yes, we know you non-humans watching our channel as well. We've got our eyes on you. But seriously, all the best. I love reading your comments. A man wandering through the woods encountered something that left him both startled and intrigued. Ahead of him, a small creature was crawling uphill. At first, it walked on two legs with a humanoid gait, but soon dropped to all fours and quickly vanished from sight. The creature's appearance and behavior have sparked a whirlwind of questions. It bore a striking resemblance to the goblins of folklore, small, humanoid, and elusive. The way it moved, with a blend of agility and stealth, the creature looks like a goblin. Goblins are often depicted as mischievous and elusive, dwelling in hidden places and rarely seen by humans. The sudden appearance and quick disappearance of this elusive creature align with such folklore. Now the big question is this really real, or is someone just messing with us using CGI? I'll let you guys decide that. In the dead of night, a man was jolted awake by a persistent knocking on his front door. Groggy and curious, he decided to investigate. As he cautiously opened the door, he was met with a terrifying sight that would haunt anyone's dreams. Reaching toward him was a slender, deathly figure. The creature, standing at an unnerving height of about 8 feet, had skin that appeared dry and lifeless. Its face was a nightmare come to life. Where its eyes should have been were only hollow voids, adding to its ghastly appearance. Reacting quickly, the man slammed the door shut, his heart racing. Thankfully, his house was equipped with a burglar-proof door, providing a barrier that this horrifying entity could not breach. The man's quick thinking and the sturdy door were his saving grace that night. But what was this creature? I guess that's a question we may never really have answered. While tales of paranormal and mystical creatures can send shivers down our spines, there's something in nature that can be even more terrifying and very real. Take a look at this close-up footage of a tsunami in action. Just look at that. It's a raw force of nature ready to devour and destroy anything in its path. Not only does it look capable of that, but it's just plain scary. Watching the clip made my stomach drop, and I can't imagine how it must have felt to be there. I'm not sure where this was recorded, or when it was recorded, or if it's even real, but this has to be the closest I've seen anyone to be to a tornado. For those unfamiliar with it, a tornado is a rapidly rotating column of air that extends from a thunderstorm to the ground, characterized by a funnel-shaped cloud. These intense atmospheric vortices can produce winds exceeding 300 miles per hour, causing severe damage to everything in their path. Tornadoes form under specific conditions, often involving a clash between warm, moist air and cool, dry air, leading to severe weather systems known as supercells. They are capable of immense destruction due to their powerful winds and unpredictable paths, and are most commonly observed in regions like the central United States, known as Tornado Alley. It's hard to see the rest of it given how close the camera and person recording is, but I just hope they escaped without serious injuries. Can anyone who has experienced any of this confirm if this is real or not? It would help a lot. Imagine going to a restaurant to have a meal and the fresh meat served to you starts moving and falls on the ground like this. It's like a scene straight out of a horror movie, making you question what exactly is on your plate. Some say it could be muscle memory causing the movement, where residual nerve activity in the meat causes it to twitch, but that doesn't make it any less creepy. Others state that it's a sign that the meat is exceptionally fresh, and while that sounds nice, it's not exactly comforting when the meat is wriggling on your plate. What do you think though? Would you have gone ahead to cook the meat? Also, are there any of you with a similar experience? Let us know how you handled it in the comments section. We're genuinely curious. Do you know what's better than one bonus clip? 2 bonus clips. We've never done it before, but today we are. Can you tell us what this is? We've quizzed you before and no one had an answer. If we are able to get the right answer today, we've got something extra special for the one who discovers it. I'm going to keep a tight lip on the prize, but believe me when I say you would want this. Start your answer with the word special bonus. Tell us what exactly this is and give us one fact about it. All the best and good luck. Our eagle eyes will be watching.
Swear to God, that's a fucking person. Dude, flash the light! If you're a person, flash the light!
This footage surfaced on the internet and left a lot of people puzzled. It was posted by a girl who was out one night in her neighborhood when she spotted something strange in the sky. It was a mysterious figure floating in the air. The girl was convinced that it was a human up there, so she yelled out to the figure to flash a light if it was a person, and after a few seconds, there you have it. The figure flashed a light. The next time you see a mysterious being in the sky, never ask it to flash a light, but what could be going on there? Is this some new type of hoax, or did we just witness a person floating in the sky? This incident leaves us with more questions than it does with answers. Aaron is convinced this has got to be a witch, but what do you guys think is happening here? Share your thoughts in the comments section.
God, that's a fucking person. Dude, flash the light! If you're a person, flash the light!
Speaking of hoaxes, it's becoming increasingly easy to generate images and footage that looks very realistic but are too absurd to be true. Take a look at this next one for instance. Someone was allegedly recording a clip on a night out when this happened. A strange-looking creature came from behind and ran away toward the rails. This bizarre creature looked like the lower torso of a deer running on 2 legs. This isn't the first time we've seen such baffling footage. With advances in technology, it's becoming increasingly difficult to distinguish between what's real and what's fabricated. Remember the infamous Bigfoot video, or the countless UFO sightings that turned out to be drones or clever camera work? The internet is full of these strange and often creepy videos, leaving us questioning the nature of reality. While some people immediately call out these clips as hoaxes, others believe there might be some truth hidden behind the eerie visuals. Looking at this, I didn't need Julius or Aaron to confirm or disprove anything. I concluded it was a hoax, but you guys tell me what you think. The Loch Ness Monster is a subject of great debate, with some people believing it's real and others thinking it's just a case of mistaken identity. But which of these two camps holds the truth? Well, take a look at our next clip. A deep-sea diver was swimming with a camera, filming her. right behind her, a huge creature comes swimming by. It was none other than the Loch Ness Monster. From the clip we see not one, but two of these creatures, and I must add that the clip does look convincingly real. Julius, however, begs to differ. He argues that the human behavior exhibited in the clip isn't very realistic. He notes that the humans in the clip didn't even react or act surprised when the creature appeared. That to him alone is a red flag. Even if the creature was not scary, there would have been a display of shock or surprise, since seeing something like that in the deep blue sea is bound to make anyone jumpy no matter how experienced. I must say that his argument does make sense, but a part of me wants to believe this is real so bad that I'm willing to accept a third opinion that would side with me, no matter how ridiculous it sounds. So guys, what do you think? Real or not? Let me know in the comments section. Witches in various cultures are depicted in different ways. Some believe them to be women on flying brooms at night, while others think of bloodthirsty, wicked-looking beings. There's so much variety across many cultures that the subject is interesting. Take this clip for instance. A man was out with his friends one night when, out of nowhere, from a distance, people in white robes started to approach them. These white-robed individuals were standing on what looked like a cliff or wall. It's hard to tell with the quality of the footage, but one of them jumped down. Or perhaps more like floated down toward the man and his friends. He was so scared that you could literally tell based on how he screamed as the white-robed beings approached him. Now, he called them witches in his language, but the question on everyone's mind is, are they really witches? Julius, our in-house scientist, thinks it's ridiculous to call them witches. He thinks there are two likely scenarios. Either his friends are playing a prank on him, or it's a hoax. Aaron, our conspiracy theorist, however, thinks this might be the real deal. Personally, I've chosen to sit on the fence on this one. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Tell me, what do you guys think about it? Next, we got a clip recorded by a late-night driver who was on the highway, all alone with no cars in sight when something bizarre happened. Yes, a white cloth did appear out of nowhere, floating mid-air on the side of the road. You don't need to be told this is bizarre and rather unnatural. The question on his mind and everyone else's who saw this clip was, where did this come from? The mystery of the floating cloth adds a mysterious yet unsettling element to what should have been an uneventful drive. The driver never met another car ahead, never received an explanation for what he saw. Some paranormal enthusiasts think it might be a ghost, but this is one that's considered a large pill to swallow by even enthusiasts like Aaron. But you guys have seen the clip, and what do you think? A horse breeder went to the stables one morning and stumbled upon a surprising sight. The horse was standing on its hind legs with its front limbs on the wall in front of it. Now that's unusual horse behavior. Not knowing what it meant and not wanting to ask Julius, I went through the comments from the original post, and most people suggested that the horse was trying to break free from the stable. It seemed tired of the confinement, possibly feeling trapped or stressed in its environment. Others offered a different perspective, saying it was just stretching. Horses sometimes engage in behaviors that might look strange to us but are quite normal for them. Stretching could be a way for a horse to relieve muscle tension or simply a playful act. Another possibility is that the horse is displaying signs of boredom or frustration. Horses, like many animals, need mental and physical stimulation. If they're confined for too long without enough exercise or interaction, they might resort to unusual behaviors. But what do you think this could be? Could it be a sign of distress, curiosity, or just a simple stretch? There's also the possibility of wanting to mate, but that's a bit of a stretch, isn't it? My money is definitely on a prison break. It's fascinating that monkeys are the closest animals to humans, but does that mean they can behave like humans when trained? Well, take a look at this next clip.
Are unique in the eyes of God. Now, there appears to be a beast that can talk.
You see it too, don't you? There's an ape wearing glasses and talking. There are all sorts of things wrong with the clip at just the first glance. There's an ape dressed up, wearing glasses and talking. He's not just saying random things. No, sirree. He's actually speaking English. He appears to be talking about God, too. There's something about the way he speaks that makes it look like he's addressing a crowd or lecturing. Is this real or even possible? The simple answer is no. The complex answer is still no. But we can see him, or it speaks. How? Well, some of my team members are convinced that's definitely a human being in a mask, and I'm tempted to side with them. But what if by some slim and unlikely chance this is real? Wouldn't that change everything we know about apes? Well, what am I saying? What do I even know? Clearly not much if I'm conflicted about this. Perhaps you guys can help. What do you think we're dealing with here? Share your thoughts in the comments section. I'll be reading.
It's the devil's hand, and I quote, behold the pale horse.
Have you ever been fascinated by jellyfish? I know I have, but not as much as I was when I saw this clip. Beautiful, isn't it? I must confess that when I saw this, I was very sure that it was some AI or digital creation, but after a bit of research and a little scolding from Julius for jumping to conclusions without a lot of research, I believe I finally figured out what this is. Behold, the deep-sea firework jellyfish, also known as Halitryphis masi. For those like me who aren't familiar with it, the deep-sea firework jellyfish is a stunning marine creature that inhabits the abyssal depths of the ocean, often found at depths exceeding 4,000 feet. This elusive species was first discovered in the eastern Pacific Ocean and has since captivated scientists and deep-sea explorers alike with its bioluminescent display. The jellyfish's name derives from its remarkable ability to emit a vibrant array of lights resembling a fireworks show. Its translucent body, adorned with radiant, pulsating colors, can burst into an intricate display of blues, purples, and gold when disturbed or during certain movements. This spectacular light show is thought to play a role in both predator deterrence and attracting prey in the perpetual darkness of its deep-sea habitat. Its tendencies are used both for locomotion and for capturing food, which primarily consists of smaller planktonic organisms. I'm tempted to add more information, such as how the jellyfish's unique light-emitting capabilities are controlled by specialized cells called photocytes, but I think this is enough. Don't you agree? Now let's switch to some news from America.
America's largest city is bracing for an invasion of unwanted eight-legged visitors this summer. Look at these guys. They're large yellow and black critters. They're called Jaro spiders. They're originally from Asia, but since 2010, they've been spotted in nearly a dozen states between Florida and Ohio.
Meet the Jaro spider, an eight-legged web weaver that is said to be invading the East Coast. These spiders have impressive 4-inch legs and are known to be venomous. Originally native to Asia, they seem to have traveled all the way to America by air or human activities, but I prefer the air. And yes, you heard that right. Spiders flying in the air. These guys are actually capable of flight, and they achieve this by releasing silk strands into the air, allowing them to be carried by the wind. While they are indeed venomous, it's important to note that their venom is not considered dangerous to humans. Still, the idea of flying spiders is enough to give anyone the creeps. So if you're in America and gearing up for a hot summer in your bikinis and shorts, watch out for these guys. They might just drop in unannounced. Hotels are very convenient when you travel to a new place and need a place to sleep or a roof over your head. However, I came across this footage that just unlocked a new type of fear for me. In the first clip, a man was in his assigned room when he saw something alarming. A tool was being passed beneath the door, attempting to unlock it. Someone was using this device to try and gain access to the room. As soon as the man noticed this, he yelled out and the person ran away. In a similar instance in the next clip, someone tied a metal hook to a rope and, like in the previous footage, passed it under the door, attempting to open it. Fortunately for the one in the room and unfortunately for the other person, the door was locked and the individual was aware. Imagine if the opposite was the case. This could have led to a tragic situation. If there's anything to learn from this clip, it's to always make sure you keep your hotel doors locked, stay vigilant, and prioritize your safety while traveling. Animals are believed to be much more sensitive when compared to humans. Some believe that animals exhibit strange behaviors when they sense danger or something alarming. In this footage, someone noticed something strange with a school of fish. The red fish were all moving in a spiral pattern in the water. They were evenly spaced and moved at a hauntingly slow pace. Fish often display such coordinated movements when they feel threatened. This spiral pattern could be a defense mechanism, an attempt to confuse predators, or a response to environmental changes. Some believe it could also be related to shifts in water conditions or even an impending natural event. What do you think is causing this eerie fish behavior? Could it be a sign of something bigger happening underwater, or is it just another fascinating aspect of animal behavior? Next, we've got another strange clip where a man appears to be interviewing a strange-looking older individual. The man being interviewed has a pure white beard, but his body has a unique and distinctive appearance. His face, shoulders, and chest are a blend of dark and white colors, suggesting that he might have vitiligo. Additionally, his arms look very shrunken, adding to his unusual appearance. Throughout the interview, he only says batata repeatedly when the microphone is placed before him. It seems like the man might have a deformity or a condition that affects his physical condition and speech. This footage raises many questions about his background and condition. If anyone has any insights or information about this individual or his condition, please share your thoughts in the comments below. Sometimes things aren't always what they seem to be. Take a look at this clip, for instance. The lights were off, but there was light coming in through the windows, and in the middle of the room, there appeared to be the silhouette of a head. You could clearly see the nose and lips, and it looked so real. However, as the person got closer, they realized it was just a stack of caps hanging there. It's amazing how our minds can be tricked by shadows and light, making us see things that aren't really there. This footage is a perfect example of how easily we can be deceived by our perceptions. Have you ever experienced an optical illusion like this? Share your stories in the comments section. The very debatable post. Have a look and tell me what you see. A two-headed deer, right? I mean, we can all see it, so what's going on here? Well, different people think different things. Some perceive it's an otherworldly creature that's trying to take form in our world, which is why it has two heads. Others think it's a skinwalker that failed to transform properly. There are also some who think that it might be an optical illusion created by the angle and position of the deer and then the photographer when the picture was taken. That sounds logical when you think about it, but then there are some who think that's not it. They believe this is simply a glitch in the Matrix. Frankly speaking, I can see where they're all coming from, but looking at it yourself, what do you think we're dealing with? Share your thoughts. In this footage circulating the internet, the scene unfolds as an alien-like creature lies on a table, surrounded by scrubbed-in doctors engaging in what appears to be an autopsy. The gravity of the moment prompts a crucial question. Is this a genuine encounter with an otherworldly being or an elaborate hoax designed to captivate the imagination? Yet, as with many cryptic encounters, the authenticity of this footage is shrouded in uncertainty. The implications of such an event, if real, could be a monumental revelation that we're not alone in the universe. Skepticism, however, prevails as the mystery surrounding UFO sightings, abductions, and purported alien interactions persists. What's your say on the matter? This video surfaced online showing a bizarre incident where an object resembling a cylinder fell from the sky and landed in a forest. The impact was accompanied by a resounding boom, followed by a fiery explosion. Naturally, everyone was wondering what it could be. Some believe it's fake, whereas others believe it's very real. The skeptics believe it could be a result of skillful video editing, while others suggest it might be a part of a satellite that fell from space. Technically speaking, though, if it was a satellite that came from outside our atmosphere, it would burn up on re-entry. The only plausible explanation is that it fell from something flying within our atmosphere, a plane maybe. At least that's according to Know It All. Julius, what's your theory? In this clip, we can see a strange-looking pot on the ground and someone puts a stick in the pot and it catches fire. When this footage was shared, the person labeled it free energy. He was able to light a match by touching it to the strange pot. Energy has been one of the most important aspects of technology and civilization, with people going through all means to acquire it. And you're telling me that just this pot can generate fire? Well, how's that even possible? Well, he lifts the lid of the pot, and inside is a tiny red pebble at the center. Well, I don't know how it's related to the fire, but it's in the pot. The person doing the demonstration puts a tester into the pot, and it lights up, indicating that there is power in it. He puts a bulb in it, and that also lights up. The science behind this video may be perplexing, but the demonstration is undeniably fascinating. The ability of this pot to seemingly generate energy and produce fire raises intriguing questions about its mechanics and potential applications. Some, however, think the whole thing is a hoax. I'm part of that some. What about you? This footage captured a peculiar and beautiful sight as a mysterious light embarked on a mesmerizing journey along the horizon. This luminous apparition, adorned with an otherworldly glow, moved with grace and agility, its form shifting and morphing as if guided by an unseen force. As it moved swiftly, the contours of its shape transformed, creating an ever-changing spectacle that captured the imagination. Such sightings often evoke a sense of wonder and curiosity. The mysterious nature of the dancing light invites contemplation. Could it be a celestial phenomenon, a natural occurrence with a scientific explanation, or does it perhaps belong to the realm of the unexplained? Share your thoughts in the comments section. If you've made it this far, could you please hit the like button, subscribe, and even drop a comment if you haven't already? It goes a long way to make it possible to create more videos for you. Thank you for doing so. Moving back to the day's episode, venture into the mysterious realms of the unknown as we delve into an intriguing discovery by a Bigfoot research center. At first glance, the image reveals a tiny body reminiscent of a human baby, yet covered in a coat of brown fur that adds an uncanny twist to its appearance. The creature appears lifeless, leading all who saw it to come up with theories of what it might actually be. Skeptics lean toward the notion of it being a fabricated creation, suggesting that what they are seeing in the image is a mere human-made prototype, a cleverly crafted creation that mimics the elusive figure of a Bigfoot. The Paranormal Society, however, believes this is real, and I must say I'm with them on this one. What do you think about it? A woman was walking her dog in the park when she came across these uniformed men. Naturally curious, she starts asking one of them questions. This guy pulls out a radio and calls for backup. Out of nowhere, a man shows up, his name scrawled on a piece of duct tape slapped on his reflective vest.
Who are you? What's your name and badge number?
Suspicious much?
You can follow him if you want. You can, but is there anything I can help you with? Do you have any questions? Or?
Yeah, what are they training? What are they hoping to learn today?
Oh, I don't know. Capabilities and any deficiencies.
She begins to ask him questions, but his answers are the least bit convincing, and she's not buying them. To top it off, these guys are packing heat, actual weapons, and casually strolling around a public park. That's definitely something to be concerned about. One question, though, is the woman right for probing? Just a quick reminder before the next clip comes. If you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed, could you do so right now? You wouldn't want me to send an alien or a Bigfoot after you now, would you? A family recorded this strange event on their Ring doorbell camera. The video shows a mysterious creature with no hair, big dark eyes, and strange teeth. The online community has been buzzing with each comment trying to define and describe what the creature might be. Some stated that it might be a cat or hairless raccoon. While recording these comments, well, I wondered where these comments were coming from. I mean, it doesn't even look like a cat. The first thing that comes to mind when I saw it was Hooper from the Bugs Life animation movie. Tell me the resemblance isn't uncanny. Our hypothesis is simple. It has to be a grasshopper. I mean, Hooper was a grasshopper, right? But then again, you have to wonder, why is it at that door? Is he regular? Could there be something going on here that we're not privy to? Share your thoughts in the comments section. A sea adventure meant for joy and exploration takes a perilous turn as tourists embark on a boat trip to the picturesque Blue Lagoon in Tanzania. The journey, initially filled with excitement, quickly transforms into a harrowing experience when the boat begins to flood midway. Caught in the unfolding drama, passengers find themselves clinging to the pillars of the boat in a desperate bid for safety. The relentless influx of water becomes an ominous threat, prompting a collective effort to navigate the treacherous situation. Outside the boat, an onlooker captures the unfolding ordeal, providing a gripping visual narrative of the sinking vessel. The juxtaposition of the stunning ocean scenery and the imminent danger emphasizes the paradox of nature, its breathtaking beauty and formidable unpredictability.
Got sunk. I never thought I would see these lights.
Do you believe in spirit beings? You do? Have you heard of the duende? If you haven't, you're in luck. Enjoy. Yeah, that's one of them. It looks like a mini human, and the man recording is even shocked. For those of you that don't know what a duende is, it's a supernatural creature or spirit often associated with the forest. It's known for its mischievous behavior and is similar to other mythical creatures found in different cultures, like elves or goblins. Well, irrespective of whether you believe it or not, we are seeing one in this footage. The individual recording states it's Colombia, which is also known to have these creatures. So has any of you ever had an encounter with these creatures? Do you even think this footage is real at all? Share your thoughts in the comments section. This man shared an unusual experience online. According to him, a plane repeatedly flew over his house, dropping tiny pellets all over his property. The perplexing behavior of the aircraft circling back to repeat the process naturally made him worried and curious. He uploaded the footage online, and a gardener who viewed the footage mentioned a similar occurrence in Minnesota where planes were reportedly spraying strange chemicals in the air. This activity was described as damaging crops and making farming nearly impossible. Other individuals also shared similar accounts. So why is this happening? First, we got people building suspicious bunkers, and now this. Destroying crops? I mean, what's next? Hold onto your hat for this next clip because it may be the creepiest and most mysterious encounter captured on a night security cam. This guy was chilling by the roadside when, out of the blue, an unseen force gave him a solid shove backwards. Now, most people would be pretty startled, right? Well, this guy takes it up a notch. He gets all worked up, grabs a stone, and starts pointing and threatening the air as if he's got a bone to pick with an invisible opponent. But here's the twist. If you scrutinize the footage, there's a momentary appearance of hazy white orbs right when the man experiences the push, vanishing almost as quickly as they materialize. What makes it strange is that the man's reaction has some folks wondering if he might be onto whatever invisible entity pulled off the stunt. So what could it be? Some people pointed out that this could be a jinn. A jinn, also known as a genie, is a supernatural creature in Islamic mythology and theology. According to Islamic folklore, jinn are believed to inhabit remote or desolate areas, and encounters with them can be both beneficial and dangerous. Some jinn are considered mischievous or malevolent, while others may be benevolent and helpful. In this case, it seems like the man encountered a rather mischievous one. The resurgence of a creature long thought extinct unfurls in the mysterious photo captured in the Australian wilderness. In 2019, a curious man on a walk stumbled upon a strange-looking creature, a harbinger of questions that transcend the boundaries of conventional wildlife encounters. Described as having a huge elongated tail and surpassing the size of a fox, the creature sparked speculation and led the observer to entertain the possibility that it could be a Tasmanian tiger. The blurry image, though somewhat reminiscent of the iconic extinct species. Now, before we don our Crocodile Dundee hats and declare the Tasmanian tiger's triumphant return, let's consider the facts. The thylacine, as it's scientifically known, was declared extinct in the 20th century, and no confirmed sightings have been recorded since. So are we witnessing a Lazarus moment for the Tasmanian tiger, rising from the shadows of extinction? Imagine just taking a walk to clear your head one night when you run into this sight. Yes, that's a woman draped in a flowing white robe with her hair cascading like a waterfall. As if the sight is not ghostly enough, you can tell that she's mysteriously hovering above the trees. It's a sight that defies the laws of nature, simultaneously invoking fear and fascination. The air becomes charged with an otherworldly presence as she floats serenely, seemingly detached from the earthly realm. Who is she? A spirit? A ghost? Or perhaps a witch? Each of these is a possibility, making the whole situation not just mysterious, but complex and leaving the observer teetering between the known and the unknown.
Can somebody tell me what the hell that is?
On a cold winter night in Albany, Kentucky, a man steps outside to feed his dog and stumbles upon mysterious prints near his home. These prints are substantial, resembling human footprints but significantly larger, suggesting a creature of considerable size and weight. Skeptics suggest the possibility of someone wearing elaborate monster shoes attempting to play a prank. On the other hand, some entertain the idea that these prints might actually belong to a truly monstrous creature. They state it might be a large bear or something more sinister. Who or what do these prints belong to? Share your thoughts in the comments section.
I'm about to feed my dog. I want y'all to look at this shit.
No, you aren't seeing things. Someone has actually attached a mysterious device to a cockroach and hooked it up to a computer to allow him to control the insect's movements with a phone. Yeah, you heard it right, and obviously you can see it too. He's actually staring a cockroach with a few taps on a phone. Take a moment to absorb that. If they can do this with a roach, what's next? How is he even doing this? Well, no one actually knows, and a user named Rezile007 suggests frequencies might be involved. He also adds a bit of conspiracy when he states that we might have been subtly influenced by such technologies for years without realizing it. The thought of that is scary, to say the least. As the debate continues, an unsettling question hangs. Is this just the beginning? Are we to expect more? Are human trials next? Wait, could they have already started it? You know what? I'd pause here and hear from you guys. Step right up, ladies and gentlemen, as we shift gears from the enigmatic woods to the eerie realm of a bus station, where the inexplicable continues to unfold. Our protagonist is a woman, standing with an unsettling stillness on one side of the train tracks, as though ensnared in a trance. When someone intervenes to pull her from harm's way, her subsequent behavior defies the expected. Her movements are erratic, like an NPC in a video game, eliciting a sense of otherworldliness. The question of what could be wrong with her takes center stage, prompting speculation about the potential factors at play. The trance-like state and subsequent peculiar behavior might stem from various sources: a medical condition, a psychological episode, or even the influence of substances. The footage leaves viewers in a state of bewilderment, grappling with the unsettling sight of a person seemingly disconnected from the norms of human behavior. Before we move on to the next video, just another reminder: if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed to the channel yet, please do so now. I wouldn't want to send that Bigfoot after you. And don't forget to share with friends and family as well. Thank you very much. Do you believe in dragons? So before you say no, watch this footage. Yep, that's an actual dragon, or at least one that looks like it's emerging from the water. Although we don't get to see its full body, we can tell from just the head that it's a very big creature. Now, the only questions we have is this real, and where was it filmed? Can this dragon fly? Can it breathe fire? Are there other types of dragons, and how have they remained hidden for so long? I know that's a lot of questions, but you can't tell me you aren't curious about them too, can you? If any one of you has more dragon videos, please send them in. We want to see them. Trailcams are mostly set to capture wildlife, the beautiful interaction between animals in the forests and grassland, but this trailcam caught something quite unexpected. If you look at this image, it looks like a regular bush. However, take a look at these 3 shining dots on the left side. What could that be? 3 eyes? Trailcams typically capture the reflections of animals' eyes, resulting in the unusual sight of 2 pairs of glowing eyes in the dark. This particular image, however, displays 3 shining dots. What animal known to us roams the forest having a set of 3 eyes? The answer is simple: none. Could this be a paranormal creature or just a deformed coyote? I'll prefer the former because a creature with 3 eyes does not seem like something to be safe around. What do you think, though? Footage from Ontario, Canada. In the clip, we see some boaters filming their time out on the lake when a creature moves in between the trees in the land ahead of them. The creature moves quickly, as though it didn't want to be seen. Creatures in the wild are always shy, so this would not be odd, but we see the boaters head toward the land, as they wanted to see the creature up close. But why? Watch this zoomed-in version of the footage, and you can understand why. Did you see it? That's an ape-like creature, and there are no apes in Ontario. If you take a closer look at the footage, it gets even more suspicious. Although the creature looks like an ape, it has human-like gait. Do you know any other creatures that look like apes with human-like features and traits? Yes, you guessed right. Bigfoot. There's a Bigfoot in Ontario, and this is just one of many bits of evidence. There's one question we've been asking, though. Is there just one Bigfoot in these woods, or is there an entire community simply hiding from us? Share your thoughts. How far are you willing to go to protect what you own and love? In this clip, we're introduced to 2 bikers who are hanging out somewhere in the woods. Out of nowhere, a man drives in and then starts attacking one of them. The second panics, rides away, but soon returns to join in the fight. The aim is to help his friend. When he arrived, however, he too was attacked and given the same treatment. The video ends here, which has us wondering how the whole encounter ended. It turns out the man was simply attacking them because they were on his land. Interesting, right? If this man proved anything, it's that he was willing to go so far to make things happen, but perhaps he was willing to go a bit too far. Next, we've stumbled upon an eerie encounter in the woods that could send shivers down your spine. James Jones, our intrepid YouTuber, recently took a stroll through the mystical forest only to stumble upon a mysterious figure that might make you question the reality of ghostly tales. In this chilling footage, Jones captured what appears to be a shadowy figure, standing stoically amidst the trees. The figure was wearing a hat that resembled the bygone era's military style. Skeptics might argue it's merely a tree casting a peculiar shape, but upon closer inspection, this figure looked darker than the trees around. Its humanoid appearance, coupled with an uncanny stillness, raises the hair on the back of your neck. Could this be one of the fabled ghost soldiers lingering in the woods? What do you think? Humans can just not stay in their lanes, always probing into things that have little to do with them. We see two of such in this footage. The footage was captured by two adventurous individuals who, for some unknown reason, decided to venture into the depths of an abandoned mineshaft in the woods. They, however, looked like they got more than they bargained for. Just take a look at what they captured once they were in the abandoned mineshaft. In the darkness, you can see a human-like creature on two legs with glowing eyes standing before them. The creature looks like a skinwalker. It's skinny and at least 6 feet tall. They might have gone in seeking an adventure, but the sight of that thing was enough to kill the thrill-seeking spirit of theirs. But what do you think that creature in the dark is? Next, we have this Trailcam capture of what looks like a wolf-dog creature with the body of an ape and the gait of a bipedal creature such as a human. If you're a subscriber and a follower of this channel, then you know we've come across creatures that look like this in the past. The ones we've seen, however, look much more like either a dog or a wolf, but this particular one looks like it has a bear's face. Although each is slightly different, they all have the face of a canine, which fits the description of the Dogman creature. If you're hearing of the Dogman for the first time, it's a humanoid creature with the body of a human and the head of a canine, which may be that of a wolf or a dog. It's also stated to be tall and muscular with sharp teeth and claws. You don't need to be an expert on the subject to know we're looking at the embodiment of the creature on your screens. One question remains, though. Is this really the Dogman, or is it fake? Tell us what you think. The next footage was uploaded by a Russian YouTuber with the caption, "Desert Fish." I have believed a lot of strange things in my lifetime. Some of them were true and some are obviously false. But despite how easy it is for me to believe things, I find this a pill too hard to swallow. How do you tell me these are actually fishes swimming through the desert sand? If anything, they should have been cooked as they went through the hot desert sand, but that's not what we see here. The fishes are comfortably moving along the path with the men slightly ahead of them. Unless I'm just being ignorant, this may have to be something else, or perhaps CGI at its best. What do you think? Nocturnal creatures have special eyes that help them to see through the night and also reflect light, so you'll often see a pair of eyes floating in the dark when these creatures are around. In this trail cam footage, however, people are unsure if the eyes belong to an animal or something ominous. In the footage, we can see an unsuspecting moose standing in a field in the dead of the night. Behind it is a woodland, but in the woodlands are eyes floating in the dark. They seem to be stalking the moose as it moves strangely. Nature enthusiasts and skeptics alike are left pondering the identity of these eyes. Some argue it could be the calculated gaze of a mountain lion or a stealthy cougar silently maneuvering through the shadows. However, the plot thickens as a faction of believers emerges, suggesting a more cryptic presence. Could it be the elusive Bigfoot lurking in the darkness and keeping an eye on the unsuspecting moose? What you're looking at is a cast made from what is suspected to be the footprint of a Bigfoot. Somewhere in Colombia, a man went fishing when he felt an eerie sensation as though he was being watched by something dangerous. He turned around just in time to catch sight of a massive creature staring at him from a distance. When the stalker noticed it had been spotted, it quickly dashed into the woods. The fisherman chased it after, but soon lost sight of it. He returned to the spot where the creature had been standing, only to see huge footprints that were left in the sand by whatever it was that he'd chased. 1 foot of the prints was about 12 inches long and 5 inches wide. It was definitely much bigger than that of any human he knew. There was only one creature that could have left a print as large and abominable as what you see. Still on cryptids, have a look at this security cam footage. Did you see the creature? That was an ape-like being trying so hard to cross the street undetected in the dead of the night. While it managed to evade human eyes, it couldn't escape the vigilant gaze of the security camera. You don't need to be told after seeing it the first time to know it's Bigfoot. But here's the thing. Unlike most Bigfoot clips we've seen, this creature moves incredibly fast for its size. It's fascinating the way it moves. It's like it's completely in its element. Sure, it has an ape-like body, but its movements are so eerily human. One question remains. Where was it headed? Honestly, who knows where it was headed? One thing's for certain, I wouldn't want to encounter it at night, especially if it's prowling around for food. And my guess, that's probably what brought it to town. After all, what else will a Bigfoot be doing in town at night? Or is this a hoax? Share your thoughts. What in the web is going on here? In this footage, you can see what looks like some sort of transparent cloth covering the trees. But no, my friends, that is a blanket of spiderwebs. You heard me right, spiderwebs. This phenomenon is known as ballooning or gossamer and is a behavior exhibited by certain spider species. During ballooning, spiders release silk threads into the air, and these threads can get caught by the wind, carrying the spiders with them. When many spiders engage in this behavior simultaneously, it can result in widespread webs covering trees and vegetation. This is often observed in conditions where spiders are seeking new areas or trying to disperse. For a minute, I thought I would have to get Tom Holland for answers. The line between fantasy and reality blurs in a captivating video that unveils what appears to be a lifeless dragon lying on the ground. While dragons are traditionally creatures of folklore and fairy tales, the recent surge in reports of strange creature sightings injects a sense of uncertainty into the narrative. The footage, though seemingly fantastical, prompts contemplation about the possibility of extraordinary beings existing in the world. Could this be a genuine glimpse of a creature that transcends the boundaries of myth and folklore, or does it perhaps unveil a carefully crafted spectacle, blurring the lines between reality and the fantastical? Next, we have this Trailcam capture, which we've had a hard time interpreting. If you take a closer look at the image, you see a creature that looks like a deer, either staring at or looking in the direction of the trail cam. Instead of a head and face to match, this deer appears to have something that looks like a lamp on its head. This makes it hard to tell what's going on with its head and face. But what if it's not having a lamp on its head? What if that's how its head and face are? What if it glows because it's no ordinary deer, but a spiritual one? Before you laugh and dismiss it, think about it. How would you explain this capture? Experts who have reviewed the image believe it's authentic. If that's truly the case, how do you explain a deer with a glowing face? You can't, can you? Next, we have eerie footage that was taken while some kids were playing outside. As the kids innocently played and enjoyed themselves, a creature started to emerge from the background heading toward them. They seemed unaware of the creature until it was only a few meters from them. It was at this point that one of the kids noticed and called out to the rest. Without wasting much time, they all rushed out of the place and made it out safely. But let's take a second look at the footage when the creature appears. Did you see it? Although the trees have blocked the full view of the creature, you can make out a humanoid creature walking on 2 feet. It moves slowly as though it were a zombie. Its face, although not very visible, is not so human. It's hard to say what kind of creature it is just from the details, but many who have seen the video believe it's a hoax and nothing more than a father playing pranks on his kids. What do you think? Embarking on a deep-sea expedition can unravel the mysteries hidden beneath the ocean's surface. For these intrepid submariners, however, their journey took an unexpected turn. In the murky depths, a webbed hand gracefully glides against the glass, unveiling a mesmerizing fishtail adorned in a luminous blue glow. The being's face makes a fleeting appearance, revealing hollow eyes that add an eerie touch to the encounter. The question echoes, could this be a glimpse of a mermaid, a legendary denizen of the deep, or something else entirely? The lore surrounding mermaids has survived for centuries, captivating human imagination with tales of aquatic beings embodying a fusion of human and piscine traits. Skepticism may cast doubt on the authenticity of such encounters, questioning whether the footage captures a genuine marine anomaly or an intricately staged spectacle. What do you think? Now, what do we have here? A pillar of clouds from the sky? The clouds, usually ephemeral and whimsically shaped, have taken on an extraordinary form, ascending majestically into the atmosphere like an otherworldly tower. The sky, once a canvas for the ever-shifting dance of clouds, now hosts this vertical anomaly, prompting questions about the atmospheric forces at play. As observers gaze upward, speculation and curiosity intertwine. Could this be a manifestation of meteorological rarity, an intricate interplay of air currents and moisture resulting in a captivating vertical display, or does it harbor a more mysterious origin, evoking the fantastical realms of the unknown? Now this is one for the books. Yep, that's a cow somehow wedged between the branches of a tree. The official word is that it happened during a flood, but hold on, a closer look at the footage and things might not add up as expected. The question on everyone's mind, what in the world is going on here? Floods typically leave behind visible signs of their impact, such as displaced vegetation, mud, or debris. Looking at the footage, I don't see any of that. It's also essential to consider the possibility that the floodwaters may have receded, leaving less obvious signs of their presence. What's your take on this baffling scenario, though? Do you think the floods are truly responsible, or could the cow have miscalculated its jump over the moon? Share your thoughts in the comments section. A man was knee-deep in construction work on the mountains, diligently breaking and clearing the terrain when he began to feel rather uneasy. Suddenly, he glances up and spots something on a distant peak. Behold, the silhouette of a colossal creature covered from head to toe in what appeared to be thick fur. He was not one for superstitions, but he wondered, could this be the legendary Bigfoot towering and observing as a human transforms its mountainous abode? He doesn't know, but that's exactly what he felt was happening. If the footage is to be believed, it does look like the big guy doesn't like it one bit. What do you think? If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do so now? It goes a long way to help us make more of these videos for you. Thank you so much. Now back to today's episode. In the heart of the dense woods, this curious, mysterious entity revealed itself. It's a creature that defies any known or conventional classification. With the body of a human shrouded in a coat of brown fur and the unmistakable head of a canine, this being bore the hallmark features of the legendary Dogman. As the camera zoomed in, the creature's form becomes more pronounced, its presence both mesmerizing and unsettling. The Dogman, a figure steeped in folklore and tales of the unknown, seemed to step out from the shadows of myth into the realms of the tangible, if only for a fleeting moment. The authenticity of such sightings often sparks debates. Does this footage capture a genuine encounter with an elusive creature, or is it an intricately crafted hoax designed to fuel the fires of speculation? In this next Trailcam footage, we're presented with another mysterious situation. Here we have a deer minding its own business in the woods when something strange happens. A ghostly figure appears from the darkness and approaches the deer. The apparition moved very fast and looked like smoke. As soon as it gets closer to the deer, it vanishes. Now, I know we have people who would say it was probably just a fog, but did you notice the deer's ear twitch as it turned its head toward the direction the figure came from? Fog or not, that deer sensed something uncanny in the air. Take a look at this amusing footage. A cat owner caught their cat singing along to a song. The cat sings perfectly along with the song. Now, it's got me wondering, can cats actually communicate or understand us? I mean, if this feline friend loved a tune enough to join in, what else could they be hiding up their fur sleeves? Can they belt out a whole repertoire of songs, or maybe even drop some perfectly tuned meows? I guess we may never know. Take a look at this footage. A woman comes home from grocery shopping and is about to wash her strawberries, but something rather unusual happens. As soon as she touches the strawberry, the tap starts flowing. Her tap uses sensors, so when you tap or touch the faucet, the water flows. However, in this case, when she taps the strawberry, which is in the sink, the water flows. So the question on everyone's mind, how in the world is this happening?
Insert thing. And here's some strawberries. Nothing happens when I touch the box, but when I touch a strawberry.
Is it some quirky glitch in the matrix, or could there be a scientific explanation lurking beneath the surface? One possibility might be that the strawberries somehow triggered the sensor. It could be due to the conductivity of the fruit, or perhaps some kind of residual moisture on the woman's hands. Alternatively, it might be a coincidence or an unforeseen interaction between the strawberry and the sensor technology. Please don't come at me for this explanation. I came up with it without Julius, and I must say I'm proud of myself. There's also the possibility that our fruits have been messed with, but that makes me sound like a conspiracy theorist. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this intriguing phenomenon? Please do share them in the comments section. If you're a bug enthusiast or someone with a curious mind, then prepare to be delighted by the whimsical world of caterpillars that goes beyond their crawling prowess. This man picked up a caterpillar from its terrestrial abode, but unknown to him, he was about to make a discovery he never knew he would make. He accidentally pressed the humble and was met with a tiny squeak that defied the known and conventional soundtrack of the insect kingdom. Who would have thought that these seemingly silent creatures harbored a secret symphony within their tiny, segmented bodies? It's possible that the sound could be a defensive mechanism or a response to pressure, but without more information, it remains a curious and unexpected behavior for a caterpillar. Unless, of course, one of you can explain it all, to which we're all eyes and ears. In the heart of the dense woods, an intrepid explorer stumbled upon a discovery that ignited a wave of speculation and intrigue. Here we see a skull that's unlike anything we know. The sheer size of the skull and its distinct features defy categorization within the known spectrum of creatures. As speculation swirls, some fervently believe that this colossal cranium belongs to none other than the legendary Bigfoot. The skull's proportions and the presence of elongated fangs add an air of mystery, fueling the notion that it might be a relic from the elusive creature that has long captivated the imaginations of enthusiasts and skeptics alike. The discovery leaves many questioning the boundaries of what we know about the natural world and pondering the existence of cryptids that may elude scientific classification. Ever wondered how offshore drilling stations remain anchored and don't float away? Someone has built a model to shed light on this engineering marvel. The explanation involves filling the pockets of oil with air to balance the pressure inside the pocket when oil is retrieved, preventing it from collapsing. Additionally, these pockets are filled with waste material, specifically seabed material, to provide additional stability. While this engineering solution appears to be effective in preventing the structures from floating away, concerns may arise about the environmental impacts of using waste seabed material. The model aims to strike a balance between maintaining stability and environmental safety. Scientists assert that the method is considered safe, although ongoing scrutiny and assessment of environmental consequences are essential. Wondering why I added this? Well, I thought it would be a cool thing to know. Do you believe in aliens? Before you say no, watch this footage. Back in the 1990s, a UFO sighting in Varginha, Brazil, was accompanied by an alleged alien encounter. The military observed strange crafts in the sky that were eventually shot down. Upon reaching the crash site, they reportedly retrieved an alien and placed it in a box. The creature had huge red eyes and appeared lifeless on the ground. At the time of the incident, not much information was reported, and it seems the government made efforts to keep it under wraps. The authenticity of this event remains a subject of debate. Some believe it to be a genuine alien encounter, while others argue that it could be a hoax or a misinterpretation of conventional phenomena. The lack of substantial evidence and the secretive nature of the incident contributed to the mystery surrounding the Varginha UFO sighting. What do you think of it? Do you believe in legends? What about ones about the legendary Bigfoot? Well, if you don't, perhaps this might challenge you, or not. Take a look. In this footage, we're introduced to not one, but two ginormous creatures that are seemingly exploring the woods. They have obviously not noticed that they're being filmed, but looking at them, we can't help but suspect that they might be Bigfoots. According to the uploader, this isn't the first time he spotted these creatures. The area is a rumored hotspot for Bigfoots, and looking at their sizes, the gait, the fur, and all other features, I can see why even the paranormal community believes it's legit. But what about you? Do you believe these could really be Bigfoots? Let us know in the comment section. Hold onto your fishing rods, folks, as we cast our line into the riveting tale of a father-son fishing expedition turned heart-pounding encounter. The man went fishing with his little boy at a river. He handed the fishing rod to the boy while he filmed the proud moment when his son caught his first fish. As the boy was pulling his catch to the land, something unexpected happened. A crocodile emerged out of nowhere in pursuit of the boy's fish. The father acted quickly to ensure the safety of his son, rushing to pick him up and avoid any potential harm from the reptile. Unfortunately, the crocodile managed to steal the fish, but they at least got to keep their limbs. It's a wild and sad case, but we can't exactly call the cops on this guy. If you want to go fishing with your kids, stay away from dangerous waters. Our next clip comes from Brooklyn, New York. In the clip, you can see a shadow cast on the buildings, but when you look up, there's nothing there. There's absolutely no object that should be casting such a shadow. So how is this shadow there? Do you remember the movie Nope? This gives such vibes. Some believe that this could be the shadow of an alien craft cloaked from the human eye. I mean, it sounds like a good explanation, don't you think? There's also the possibility that it could be atmospheric conditions, reflections, or some unknown natural phenomena creating unusual shadows. That I doubt, however. What are your thoughts on this mysterious shadow over Brooklyn, New York? In Charlotte, North Carolina, a man captured this peculiar sight in the sky, a fiery object with a trail of smoke falling. Uncertain whether it was a plane on fire or something falling from space, he posted it online where viewers offered various speculations. Some suggested it could be a plane that caught fire mid-flight, but others disagreed. Some also suggested that it might be an unidentified aerial phenomenon shot down. The fact that this wasn't covered by any news agency made the whole thing even more mysterious than it ought to be. Adding to the mystery, the object didn't seem to be landing or crashing. Instead, it continued to move and navigate through the sky. That's definitely not how falling objects behave, right? What are your thoughts on this unexplained phenomenon?
What?
In the sunny state of California, a fast food revolution is underway, and it's not just about the flavor of the burgers. A pioneering fast food joint has embraced the future, going fully AI in its kitchen operations. The manager said that finding humans willing to tackle the dangerous task of flipping French fries has become a challenge of its own. Step inside and you'll witness a futuristic spectacle where culinary bots dance around the kitchen, seamlessly flipping burgers and orchestrating a symphony of sizzling fries. It's a dazzling display of technological prowess, but what does this mean for humans? I don't know about you, but that's another human job taken over by AI. Lately, there's been a lot of news about billionaires worldwide investing in building underground bunkers. Reports indicate that some have already started constructing these bunkers equipped with advanced facilities. These underground hideouts are rumored to have amenities such as parking for yachts and submarines, along with high-tech security systems that can withstand external attacks. Some think that they're preparing for World War II, while many others are wondering if something significant is happening behind the scenes. What do you think? Now, onto something really scary and eerie. Since starting this channel, we've reviewed a lot of weird footage, some of which we can't even share, but believe me when I say, none of them has made our stomachs turn like what you are about to watch. The video starts with a weirdly dressed man ushering a young lady who seems to be in her nightwear into the woods. The lady, seemingly entranced, obediently follows the man's instructions without any sign of resistance. When you watch the video for the first time, you don't notice it, but there's another weird-looking man in the bushes also signaling the two, or rather the lady, to come into the bush. They enter the bushes and the clip ends. According to the owner of the Trailcam that captured this chilling scene, neither the strange duo nor the young lady returned from the bush. And here's the kicker. The owner has no clue who the lady even is. The scary thing about this footage is that it was recorded as recently as April 2023. The paranormal community believes those were either skinwalkers or ritualists, although we can't say for sure none of these groups is good news for the lady. For the first time, I'm actually hoping this is a hoax, because if it's not, we've just witnessed creatures of the night kidnap a young girl. Who knows what they have done and are possibly doing to her even at this moment. This Trailcam was set to capture an unknown creature that was rumored to be living in the woods. Some stated that it was the legendary Gray Man, which is considered by some to be a benevolent spirit that warns humans of impending danger. As no one had seen it, no one knew what to expect until this trail camera recorded a creature in this footage which many thought was the Gray Man. As you can see from the footage, there's a cute creature standing amidst the woods, seemingly awestruck. It stands for a while and then quickly retreats into the woods. Do you think this is truly the Gray Man, or could it be a small monkey or some other small critter that had been mistaken for it? Share your thoughts in the comments section. There have been talks of scientific attempts to open portals to other dimensions. In this clip, a cloud shaped like a large donut is seen resembling a portal. Naturally, this has resurrected the subject on paranormal platforms. Much of this portal discussion is associated with the CERN collider, where rumors suggest that there have been attempts to open such gateways. The Mandela effect has also been linked to the CERN machine. Rumors and testimonies suggest that we learned of this technology in the Montauk tunnels. Montauk tunnels likely refer to the Montauk Project, a series of alleged secret U.S. government projects. These claims are, however, largely considered to be conspiracy theories, and they lack substantial evidence. Back to the clip. What do you think could be happening here? Please share your thoughts in the comments section.
I'm excavating. It's going down. Y'all know how I love real estate, and I usually like to build and go up. We going underground now.
Still on these bunkers, Rick Ross recently took to social media to announce that he's having a bunker built, joining a list of celebrities who have been constructing bunkers around the world. This trend of public figures investing in bunkers raises questions. Why the surge in the interest in bunkers? And what do they know that we don't? The fact that multiple celebrities are opting for bunker construction might evoke a sense of doomsday prepping. As the trend continues, it's unclear if these preparations are motivated by specific imminent threats or if it's simply a matter of personal preference for increased security and seclusion. What do you think?
I got a water maker. We got our canned goods. So if you're thinking the brothers ain't ready, we ready.
We have something else that we have a hard time explaining. Wondering what I'm talking about? Have a look. Did you see that? Did you see the third deer appear out of thin air as characters spawn in a video game? If you did, you aren't seeing things, it really did happen. The question is, how? Well, no one knows. Now, here's where things get interesting. The paranormal community suggests it might be an animal spirit or something of the sort. Sounds intriguing, right? But here's the problem. Why would the spirit choose that particular time of the day and reveal itself to multiple people? It just doesn't quite add up. Some think that the driver might have offended the spirits, but we can't say for sure. Others, including myself, thought it was just a glitch in the Matrix. In case you are not familiar with the terminology, it's the belief that you and I are just in a computer simulation like the Matrix movies. This simulation from time to time breaks, which creates the kind of situation we're seeing with the deer. There are also some who think it's merely an optical illusion due to the perspective, and as logical as that sounds, it's hard to believe in this case. Some also subscribe to the idea that the footage is edited and it's a hoax. But you saw the footage too. What do you think? For our next footage, we visit Canada, specifically Saskatchewan. Sounds like a place to find a Sasquatch, doesn't it? Turns out you can actually find one there. While patrolling the reserve, a security officer caught sight of this large, dog-furred creature approximately 10 feet tall walking across the field. Thinking it was a bear, he looked at the animal moving only to realize that the creature was effortlessly moving on two legs and lazily swinging its arms. We soon realized that he was dealing with no bear. It was something much more. Considering the history of Sasquatch sightings in the area, he quickly realized he was witnessing one himself. Determined to capture the moment, he reached for his camera, but unfortunately by then the creature was almost out of sight. What do you think, though? Is that really a Sasquatch, or is it something else? Next, we have this clip that was shared by a lady.
What the f***? That is not a goddamn airplane. Why the f*** is it so f***ing close? What?
She spotted this enormous craft in the night sky. You can't see the craft itself, but the glow from its lights give you an idea of just how massive it is. What's intriguing is how close it is to the buildings, and there are two of them. You can tell from the woman's tone that she's freaking out and is convinced that these aren't human-made crafts. Now it's got us all wondering, what could these mysterious crafts be? Do you think there's something otherworldly going on, or is there a more down-to-earth explanation for this nighttime spectacle? Share your thoughts.
I don't know what the fuck this is. I don't know what the hell is going on.
A group of people in Brazil had a puzzling experience while driving near a forest. They noticed what seemed like a fire and decided to stop and help put it out. Instead of a regular fire, however, they found a vertical humanoid-shaped entity emitting a bright glow. Strangely enough, there was no smoke and nothing around it seemed to be catching fire. The sight made them all feel uneasy and they hesitated to get any closer. That's with the exception of one person, of course. There's always that one person. This individual tried to approach it, but the rest of the group warned him to stay back. They were very scared and unsure of what could happen. Besides, they didn't know whether it was a dangerous entity or something else entirely. Having seen the footage, what do you think we could be dealing with? For our next video, we visit Chiajalis, Canada. Take a look at these tracks. What do you think made them? You don't need to be a genius to know this was done by something big and possibly dangerous. Whatever it was, it had to have big feet. We all know what the culprit should be, the one and only Bigfoot. Now let's delve into the story behind these intriguing tracks. It all began when a family stumbled upon them during one of their outings. At first, they believed it to be a one-time occurrence. However, as time went on and they continued spotting these tracks in different seasons, it became increasingly clear that the creature resided in close proximity. This was all hypothetical until someone in the family actually saw the creature in its full glory. It was no ape or a bear or any other large mammal you can think of. It was actually Bigfoot. Interestingly, even after discovering that Bigfoot resides nearby, the family has chosen to remain in their home. In fact, one brave member even throws stones at the creature whenever they cross paths, boldly stating that they're not afraid. What would you have done if it were you and your family? Would you have stayed or would you have moved? Tell us in the comments section. Next, we take a trip to an area near Hudson Bay in July 2011. The footage was taken by a man who was being disturbed by strange and unexplained noises. Instead of running, however, he decided to investigate, but with his camera rolling, what he discovered left him terrified. As he was investigating the noise, he stumbled upon a creature in the darkness. It was a ghastly creature, pale in appearance, its eyes ominously glowing, lurking on the ground. Though the footage is a bit shaky, you can still make out what looks like a pair of human-like arms. Not long after this discovery, the video ended. That creature looked nothing like a human. It had no ears or any visual indication of a nose. The white skin and glowing eyes of the creature are reminiscent of a rake. For those unfamiliar with them, rakes are paranormal creatures that are known to stalk people. Approach them and they won't hesitate to attack. Although they are humanoid, they also appear to be crouching and are extremely pale. What do you think? Was the creature the man found a rake? Or is it all fake? Tell us in the comments section. Step into the future with the Tesla Bot. This cutting-edge robot promises to tackle your daily chores at home, conquer yard work, and even handle those repetitive office tasks. Rumor has it that this futuristic household assistant comes with a price tag of around $20,000. Now, the buzz surrounding this technological marvel is not just fascinating but also a tad alarming. It goes beyond the idea of AI potentially replacing human workers. It's about the intelligence embedded in these robots. Even Elon Musk, the alleged brains behind these bots, has expressed concerns about AI evolving to a point where it surpasses human intelligence. While I'd want to believe these could be real, I'm a bit skeptical about them. It would be weird for Elon, who has been concerned about the dangers of AI, to suddenly start producing robots that have them incorporated. What's more, I couldn't find any official information on these bots. Is someone trying to mislead us, or is Tesla doing these things under the wraps? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Take a look at this intriguing image. The Pope was captured with a peculiar symbol on his robe resembling an alien. The Pope is a symbol of religious authority, so why would he have an alien-like symbol on his robe? Does it hint at the existence of these otherworldly beings? On the contrary, some suggest that the symbol might be a cultural sign from a country he visited, worn as a gesture of respect. This brings forth the possibility that the symbol holds culture. The juxtaposition of the Pope, a figure of religious importance, with a symbol resembling an alien sparks curiosity about the intention behind this choice. What are your thoughts on this mysterious symbol on the Pope's robe? Do you believe in ghosts? If your answer is no, then this footage might just shock the unbeliever out of you. Don't believe me? Have a look. Did you see it? Did you see the transparent being walk in and out of frame as though he had no care in the world? There's no denying that it's a ghost, but how? Even the people who recorded this footage are baffled and can't make sense of it. They ignored it until they went into the woods with another man who began experiencing an eerie presence he couldn't make sense of. He turned to the next person and tried to describe what he was feeling and was told to say no more. The man showed in the video his friend had recorded some weeks prior, and it confirmed everything. The video is what you just watched. The woods they were in was not normal. There was something or some things out there, and they were definitely not from our plane of reality. In simple terms, the place was haunted. The men knew this, and they still came back because they had to hunt. But do tell me, would you go back into a forest if you knew it was haunted, even if your livelihood depended on it? Tell us. We'd love to know your perspective. Have you ever had anyone photobomb your picture? If your answer is yes, believe me when I tell you your pictures have never been photobombed like the next image I'm about to show you. This unsuspecting couple took a cute selfie together during a morning hike and found it to be a lovely picture. You know, the kind you take when you're head over heels. Imagine their surprise when they took a second look at the picture when they got home, only to find an unexpected photobomber. To their astonishment, they discovered a creature positioned right between the trees in the background, seemingly posing for the camera. The creature appeared hairy with brown fur. There were no apes in the area, which left only one possibility: a cryptid. But which kind? Your guess is as good as mine. A Bigfoot? But is it real, though? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Would you ever consider bringing your car to a screeching halt in the middle of a highway just before you spotted a shirtless man in the woods from a distance? Personally, I wouldn't take that risk, but the person behind this footage has a different perspective. He believed it was a noble thing to do and without hesitation parked his car, set his camera rolling, and embarked on a mission to reach the man. He called out hoping to have an intelligent conversation with the man, but little did he know that his expectations would be shattered in an instant.
How you doing? Oh, just some cruisers, man. That's crazy shit. Guys crawling at me like, what's up, dude?
The man started moving, but not by walking or any recognizable means. No, the shirtless man crawled towards him, limbs trembling, like a ghastly zombie from reminiscent nightmares, and also he was contorted. The protagonist, who had gone to offer his help, soon realized that he was but an ordinary man, and just like a thunderbolt, his survival instincts kicked into high gear. With no time to spare, he ran for his dear life, heart pounding, fueled by pure adrenaline. Now, let me pose this question to you. What would you have done in that bone-chilling situation? I mean, what would you do when you were walking in the woods and you came across this? At first glance, you might think that it's an odd-looking deer, but after a few seconds, you're likely to be spooked by the figure. It looks like a deer, yet its features are disproportionate and, quite frankly, disturbing and ungodly. The individual who captured this footage believed he was looking at some mutated or heavily deformed deer. Some even believed he could have been dealing with an otherworldly creature. The logical and non-believers in the supernatural believe that this is nothing more than a decoy. For those unaware, hunters like to create dummy versions of deer whenever they're hunting to attract other deers. Yes, that's a thing, and it does work. But there's no way this could be one of those. Or is there? We want to hear your theories. What do you think this strange creature could be? During a beautiful sunset, someone captured this. It looks like tiny insects swamped up in the sunset, but is this even possible? If it were, what kind of insects could do that? The original poster believes that they could be cicadas, but a commenter suggested that they could be wasps. Others in the paranormal community and in this post stated they observed wasps acting odd during the eclipse. I did some digging around and found an explanation. Apparently, wasps are more active during the daytime when it's warmer and there's more light, so if an eclipse temporarily reduces the amount of light, they might become less active or confused. Some insects and animals might even behave as if it's dusk or nighttime during an eclipse, which could affect their foraging patterns and other behaviors. Could this be what happened to the wasps these individuals observed? Very likely. Could what we are seeing in the clip be wasps? I'll leave that up to you to decide. A Reddit user recently shared an intriguing image on the platform. The user had bought some blueberries and was enjoying them when she noticed a strange marking on one of the berries. Upon closer inspection, she realized that the marking was a set of numbers, well written and too small to be written by hand. What's more, the numbers seem to be made by a machine, which is unusual as food items are not typically marked with serial numbers. As the image went viral, many people started offering explanations for the strange marking on the berry. Most of the commenters suggested that the berry was attached to the packaging when the company was laser printing on it. This explanation seemed plausible, as laser printing is a common way of marking products with serial numbers. However, some people still wondered if there was something more sinister going on. Such individuals suspected the government might be messing with our foods and changing our bodies. It's possible that the marking on the berry was simply a result of the laser printing process, as many suggested. However, it's also possible that this was a deliberate act and that someone intentionally marked the berry with a serial number. But why? Well, we don't know. That's the mystery. Your thoughts on this are welcome. Imagine venturing through the dark and unfamiliar woods at night with the knowledge that a sinister creature is stalking your every move. Now picture lifting your eyes and coming face to face with a chilling sight like this, a distant figure with glowing eyes. I don't know about you, but personally, I made it abundantly clear on this channel that I'm not one to stick around and find out what such a creature looks like or whether it poses a danger. I'm grabbing my belongings and getting the hell out of there without hesitation. The individuals who captured this footage were simply clueless about the creature's identity. Based on the knowledge of mythology and a careful examination of the video, I'm highly convinced that the group in question were being stalked by a specter. If this entity is indeed a specter, as my team and I believe, then those who encountered it are incredibly fortunate to have escaped with their lives at all. You think that was disturbing? Well, it pales compared to what we will show you next. What would you say about this trail cam's footage of a man weirdly moving through the forest? On second thought, no, that's definitely not how humans move. If you look closely at the trail cam footage, a figure that resembles a man suddenly emerges from the darkness, moving in an unsettling way. He heads to where the trail cam is stationed. I'm sure I'm not the only one who thought he was rocking back and forth unnaturally whilst moving. As the figure, or man, or whatever you might think it is, gets closer, we can see that he's actually moving along the ground on his knees instead of on his feet. Weird. Could it be an otherworldly creature that spawned into ours and is now learning to use the human body, or could it simply be an elaborate plan by someone who knows that the trail cam stationed there simply to try to scare its owner? Personally, I believe that the creature we're seeing in this footage is not of this world because it's very unlikely that someone would go to such lengths to scare the owner of a trail cam in the middle of the night deep in the woods. I highly doubt it. But tell us what you think in the comments section. Here we have another footage of the strange noise from the sky. In this video footage, a woman records a loud and strange noise coming from the sky outside her home. Curious and slightly unnerved, the woman went outside to record the sound. The noise continued for a while before eventually stopping. Some few moments later, it began again and she went outside to record it once more. These sounds are haunting and eerie. Some people believe these sounds could be linked to the end of the world as described in the Bible. Specifically, they point to the sound of the trumpet as a sign of the apocalypse. However, others believe that there could be other explanations for these strange occurrences. What are your thoughts, though? Do you believe that these sounds could be a sign of the end of times, or do you think that there are other explanations for these strange occurrences? A homeowner in North Carolina, USA, was reviewing his home's surveillance footage when he spotted a strange creature. The creature appeared to have a hairy body and was walking on two legs. Although the camera was positioned downward, it was still obvious that the creature was not human. Its size was significantly smaller compared to the flower pot it walked by. It was definitely not a normal creature as it did not resemble a rat, cat, or rodent and was clearly walking on two legs. Interestingly, some viewers pointed out that the creature didn't cast a shadow, which made the sighting even more bizarre. The lack of the shadow made some, including my in-house video editor, think it might be CGI, but we can't prove that now, can we? Some people also suggested that the creature might be a duende, a mythical creature found in Spanish and Latin American folklore. Duendes are known for being small, mischievous beings that look similar to elves or goblins. They're believed to live in natural places such as forests and caves and are regarded as guardians of nature. Depending on their mood or the actions of humans they encounter, they might either help or worry people. However, it's hard to say for sure if the creature in the footage is a duende or something else entirely. What do you think? Can we call this video a comic relief moment? While it's true that an unexpected animal falling into the water can often be amusing, it becomes challenging to label it as such when we witness the panic and concern of the calf's parents. Even the elephants in the neighboring pen are displaying signs of worry. This footage reveals a side of these magnificent creatures that many don't often get to see. Yes, they're large and powerful, but they also possess an incredible level of empathy, an aspect this video perfectly exemplifies. If you walked into the woods and saw men whiter or paler than usual, you'd surely think that there was something wrong with them. You're even likely to think ghost or a vampire. But what happens when it's not humans or animals that you have seemingly gone white? More specifically, turkeys. Well, there are two types of responses. The first is awe and wonder at the magnificence and uniqueness of these birds, which many might share. Picture this. I'm out exploring these mysterious woods, and suddenly I stumble upon a flock of white turkeys feeding. Can you blame me for feeling a surge of adrenaline? I certainly think that my life was in danger. The scientific community does not think that anything strange or paranormal is happening here. Instead, they believe the turkeys we're seeing are suffering from an uncommon mutation known as leucism, which is known to result in reduced pigmentation, giving birds white or patchy feathers. This explanation does seem logical, although part of me still wants to embrace the mysterious and paranormal. But what do you think, though? Have you had any experience with birds of this nature?
What's that? Can you hear that noise? What is that?
8 years ago, a YouTube channel, Marty Dennison, posted this footage online. It was strange trumpet noises echoing from the sky. The whole household came to listen to it, and this was in Sydney. The phenomenon was, however, heard in various parts of the world.
What is that?
But what are these sounds, and why are people hearing them all over the world? Well, I did some digging and came across some information. According to the American Academy of Audiology, they are called skyquakes. While numerous theories have been proposed to explain the phenomenon, there is still no definitive explanation that has been universally accepted by researchers. Some of the most prominent of theories state that skyquakes could be caused by seismic activity such as earthquakes or volcanic eruptions. Another possibility is that they're caused by atmospheric changes like thunder or lightning. It's also possible that they may be caused by the interaction of ocean waves with the Earth's crust. Some people have suggested more unconventional explanations for skyquakes, including sonic booms generated by military aircraft or atmospheric disturbances caused by electromagnetic phenomena. Despite the many ideas that have been put forward, skyquakes remain a mystery. What do you make of the whole thing?
So scary.
Our next clip opens up with an unusual object falling from the sky. The object appears to be a glowing cloud-like mass resembling a balloon more than a typical cloud. It's purple with an orange, fiery color and has a strange, unexplainable shape. The object can be seen rotating in the sky as it moves. At first, many thought it could be something otherworldly, perhaps a UFO. Looking at the clip, it's understandable why they think that. It looks like something that will come out from a spaceship or something alien. While many were buying into the idea, members of the scientific community stated that it could be wreckage from one of the SpaceX launches that were ejected into space and are now falling back to Earth. Looking at the clip, this looks like the more plausible explanation for what we are seeing. Either that or there's some serious alien camouflage. If you're someone who believes that fairies belong solely to the realm of fairy tales, then you might want to rethink that notion after watching this astonishing Trailcam footage. Take a good look. Doesn't it resemble a fairy gracefully lifting off? The size seems just about right, and the video doesn't appear to be edited. Even experts seem to agree with this assessment. Could this be the actual first ever real-life footage of a fairy? It's a mind-boggling possibility. However, as usual, the scientific community, the ever-vigilant skeptics, don't seem to share our view. They always find a way to discredit and dampen the excitement of every paranormal discovery we stumble upon. And, well, who can blame them? So what's their explanation this time? According to them, the phenomenon captured in the footage is attributed to a large lunar moth. These creatures are typically green in color, but since the Trailcam footage is in black and white, we can't definitively say if it's a Luna moth or not, but it probably is. But here's the big question. Could this be the real deal or a genuine fairy caught on camera? I thoroughly doubt it. It's more likely just a Luna moth, as the scientific community insists. We eagerly await your thoughts and opinions. Share them in the comments section below. So I asked ChatGPT a simple question. What are the chances of moss growing into the shape of a gnome? And you know what it said? It said it's almost impossible, but guess what? We've got some mind-blowing footage straight from the woods that defies all odds. A lady was out exploring the woods when she came across this mass of moss shaped like a gnome. Naturally, this caught her attention and she tried to take a closer look. Little did she know that this is where things took an eerie turn. She swore the moss moved and looked at her. Unfortunately, the video doesn't really capture the movement, leaving us desperate for a glimpse of this mysterious moss gnome in action. Could it be that the moss didn't move at all, or the video quality is so poor that we can't spot the subtle movements of the moss? Whatever the case, we can't help but wonder how the moss grew into that shape. Is that a hint that gnomes are actually real? Could she have been exploring an area where they live? Share your thoughts with us as well as any encounters with them in the comments section. Would you go camping if you knew these guys would be your campmates? In the footage, a camper woke up one night to find a huge spider crawling on his tent on the outside. If you're an arachnophobe, I'm sure it will be hell for you. You can even see the highlights of other insects as well. Wait, did I just call a spider an insect? Spider-Man won't be happy about that. Good thing he's not real. Can you guess where this particular camp is happening? Hint, it's a popular place with the world's most deadly creatures. Yes, you guessed right, Australia. Australia is known for its spiders, some of which can grow to enormous sizes. For instance, the huntsman spider, which is commonly found in Australian homes, can have a leg span of up to 30 centimeters, making it one of the largest spiders in the world. Thinking of it alone is making my stomach churn, but do tell me, what do you think of this camping expedition? Do or pass? Growing up, I always heard some people being called lucky, but being the scientific mind I was in my childhood days, I just thought it was a matter of probability. If the childhood me could see this, he would change his mind. Yes, that's a man shaking uncontrollably, and it appears to be quite severe. At first glance, the reason behind this unusual behavior is unknown, but as the camera panned down, a broken piece of a hand grinder was revealed lying on the ground. As he turned the camera toward his face, we could see the reason behind his tremors. The disc of the hand grinder had become lodged in his cap just a few inches away from his head. This was a very close call, and the man's cap had saved him from what could have been a fatal accident. How's that possible? It's not supposed to be. It's quite remarkable how lucky he is to have escaped unscathed. It was clear from the video that the man was terrified and shaken by the incident, and understandably so. Could this be luck or something more? Share your thoughts. Take a look at this majestic beast strolling in the snow. If you thought you were looking at some mythical creature, you're allowed to do so. I mean, look at those ears, its fur, and even its face. If that doesn't scream mythos to you, I don't know what would. Thankfully, it's not a mythical creature, but one that exists on this very planet. If you didn't already know, what you're seeing in the footage is a Canadian lynx. I know it looks cute, but whatever you do, don't go trying to pet one when you see it. They may be cute, but they're still apex predators who might enter into a fight or flight response if you approach them. Stay safe and stick to admiring them from afar, or better still, watching them trail cam videos like this one. This deer may have taken his title of king of the herd a little too seriously. I mean, how else do we explain this mess? Clearly, his loyal subjects are not amused and want nothing to do with him. If I were a deer and the strongest buck in our herd had such colorful antlers, I might avoid him too. On a more serious note, this is just another sign that human activities are negatively affecting wildlife. Although we may not know how the deer had its antlers wrapped in the colorful thread we see, we do know that it can make it an easy target for predators since he's unable to fully blend into his environment, and the threat may pick up scents that will make it easy for predators to track and find it. As though that's not bad enough, it will also have to deal with rejection from its herd. We must do better for the sake of these animals, and we must do so without fail. Have you ever had the chance to encounter a skunk ape? If your answer is no, you're definitely not alone. Personally, I hadn't even heard of these creatures until I stumbled upon this incredible Trailcam video. Apparently, they're a variation of Bigfoot dwelling deep within the swamps of Florida. Talk about discovering something wild, right? These elusive creatures have a preference for solitude, and they're said to reach a towering height of at least 8 feet. If that doesn't scream Bigfoot, well, I don't know what would. The footage you're witnessing was captured nearly a decade ago, adding to the intrigue and mystery surrounding these fascinating beings. Have you ever heard of or encountered a skunk ape before? We're genuinely curious and eager to know your stories. This image was posted by a man online. At first glance, it looks like a harmless photo of a tourist capturing and documenting his travels. But look again. Do you see it? There's an ape-like creature just behind the man. As expected, everyone who saw the image couldn't help but draw the man's attention to the creature captured in this photo. He had taken the picture in the Piranha Delta area, and according to him, the particular area he took that picture is known by the locals to have ape-like creatures that are as common as they are elusive in that area. Well, you can imagine the excitement that sparked amongst Bigfoot enthusiasts who were wondering if the elusive creature could be there as well. Well, Bigfoot has been linked to North America. Not many has considered its presence in South America until now. Turns out that's a mistake, as there was a lot of evidence in South America about the existence of Bigfoot. Early settlers and explorers of the region had encountered strange, hairy, and giant men and named their towns after them, like Patagonia, which is not too far from where the picture was taken. Patagonia had the largest variations of these creatures, which we suspect to be Bigfoot. But let me tell you, these larger variations of the creature are even more elusive, and can you blame them? They are probably Bigfoot after all. Perhaps it's time to unite Bigfoot enthusiasts from around the world in an international Bigfoot convention. Who knows what we might uncover about these mysterious creatures from the various civilizations. This bird went from cute land bird to full helicopter mode. You're probably as awed and perplexed as we are. Did you know what type of bird it is? Can you guess why it's flapping its wings? Do you know the areas within which this species is found? Impress us in the comments section, and there might just be a video waiting for you in our next video. What would you do if you ever run into the legendary Bigfoot? I, for one, would not waste any time getting out of there. But the same can't be said for the Russian man. He actually took out his camera to film. I guess the Russians are just built differently. He was in the woods when he caught sight of something strange moving a few meters away from him. It was a hairy humanoid creature casually walking through the woods, and it hadn't noticed him yet. The strides of the creature were similar to that of a human, but the being itself did not look human, not in the very least. Despite being very scared, he took out his camera and recorded the beast while keeping a safe distance. Thankfully, the beast didn't notice him, and he was able to get away with this footage. He then posted it online as far back as 2011 with the intention of sharing his experience and warning all who spend time in the woods. He, however, did this anonymously, and up till now, no one knows who he truly is. Either he didn't want to get picked up by the government and interrogated, or he simply just valued his privacy. Whatever the reason, I'm still glad he was able to get us this footage. Imagine stumbling upon laminated posters of missing persons eerily taped to trees in a secluded and rarely visited part of the woods. How would you know how to react? I know I would panic and quickly get out of there. But against all instincts, the owner of this footage felt an irresistible urge to document the chilling sight, pulling out his camera to capture what lay before him. As he filmed, a wave of fear washed over him, gradually realizing that these were not random postings, but deliberate placements by an unknown individual. How recent, he couldn't tell, but he rushed out of the place to get to the police. The police swiftly arrived at the scene, investigating the situation, collecting evidence, and questioning James, the owner of the footage. Surprisingly, they seemed unfazed, dismissing it as a harmless Halloween prank. Given that it was early October, they assumed that it was an extreme Halloween prank or something despite the undeniable reality of the missing persons depicted on the posters. James returned to the area after a few months to investigate the site. In this subsequent return to the area, James made a bone-chilling second discovery. The missing person posters had been replaced with ominous no trespassing notes. This confirmed his suspicions. There was absolutely no way this could have been an elaborate Halloween prank. James could have also sworn that the laminated posters he saw must have been there for months before he discovered the site. To him, coming across them before Halloween was merely a coincidence. But what do you think? Do you think James is making a big deal out of nothing, or could something sinister be going on? Perhaps a serial killer at large in the woods? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Morse code revolutionized. Morse code revolutionized communication with the invention of the telegraph, but have you ever wondered what forms of communication spirits and otherworldly creatures might use? Up until now, we didn't have an answer, but that all changed when we came across this astonishing Trailcam footage. Take a closer look at the footage. What do you see? Notice that ghostly being that fades in and out of reality. Now, take a closer look. There's a second one, too. What if these apparitions aren't just fading in and out randomly? What if each fade in and fade out and the duration of each phase carries a profound meaning? What if it's a form of spiritual Morse code? I know it might sound far-fetched, but consider this. There's so much we still don't understand about the paranormal, and when you watch this footage, there's simply no other way to explain what's happening. It's a mind-boggling mystery begging for explanation. This footage right here will tickle a lot of Bigfoot fans. I mean, look at it. There are not as many up-close videos of Bigfoot as this. There's simply no way that it's a human in a suit, and definitely no way it's an ape. It's got to be Bigfoot. Judging by the quality of the video, it might have existed for some years now, but that makes it more believable because editing tools have only become very accessible in recent times. A decade or so ago, they were not so popular and not many could use them. If we're using the same logic, then we can say this footage is definitely real. But there's just one peculiar thing. Unlike other Bigfoot showed on this channel, this one seems to be well endowed behind with hips and what looked like breasts on her chest. I'm tempted to think that this might be our first female Bigfoot on the channel. Whatever the case, it's strutting during the daytime, which is quite unusual for Bigfoot, and it stares straight into the camera to let them know it had seen them. I've always considered that unspoken aggression. Whatever the case, this video is a rare find and one I cherish. All things being equal, no one sets up a trail camera with the intention of capturing mystical creatures or anything that has to do with the supernatural. More often than not, however, such people typically capture something that challenges their beliefs. The owner of this trail cam is one such individual. He had set a trail cam to capture some animals in the wild and went back for his memory card to see what he'd captured. What he saw was not something he'd anticipated. A hairy animal was hiding between the trees and peeping up at the camera. This caught his attention, as not many wild animals could recognize trail cameras or even remotely know what it was. Not even chimpanzees can, and they're one of the smartest species in the world. Take a closer look, however, he realized that the animals actually had human-like features, but unlike human, it had fur all over its body. He wondered what creature it could be, and then suddenly it hit him. He was actually looking at Bigfoot. He posted it online asking for the opinions of others, and many agreed that it was an actual sighting of the elusive Bigfoot. But what do you think? Is it really Bigfoot, or just someone playing pretend? If there's one thing the Bigfoot and Sasquatch family hate, it's being caught on camera. But despite their aversion, we've a captivating trail cam capture to show you. Take a close look and you'll notice a blurry image of a white ape-like creature. Now, can you guess where this intriguing image was taken from? It's a challenging one, and I doubt anyone got it right. Brace yourself for the surprise. It was actually taken from none other than the City of Portland's official website, portland.gov. But here's the twist. They've refused to disclose the exact location where the trail cam captured this fascinating Bigfoot. The reason? To protect the creature, of course. So what do you think? Could there really be a Bigfoot roaming out there? Or is this all part of an elaborate marketing ploy to lure us to visit Portland? And why is it that whenever anybody captures pictures of Bigfoot or photographs or videos of Bigfoot, the images are always blurry? I'm eager to hear your thoughts. Everyone knows that life in the wild is a survival game. You either do your best to survive or you become someone's family dinner, and this deer knows that too well. At first glance, you'd be forgiven to assuming that the deer we're about to witness has met its untimely demise, but prepare to have your assumptions challenged. Those hunting it got close and realized it was not. Yes, they'd shot it, yes, it was bleeding, and yes, it was down, but it was not yet out. When they got close enough to take pictures and afterwards carry the spoils of their hunt home, the deer sprang up and ran. Could it have been pretending so it was left alone? Could it have been in shock and just jumped up when they got close? Would it even survive at all? If you're an experienced hunter, would love to hear your insights on this captivating scenario. Join the discussion and share your thoughts with us. At first glance, this trail cam footage looks pretty normal and boring. Nothing much to see, just a cool night with calm winds swaying the trees and bushes around. That was at least the case for the first few seconds until you start hearing rustling sounds, and not long after, something starts moving in the darkness between the trees. The sounds get closer and louder until a figure emerges. It's not a beast, and it's not human. Even if it were human, it was certainly not a live one at least. We see what looks like a spirit or a ghostly being crawling on its knees, and it eerily moves right past the trail cam into the darkness. Had we truly just seen some type of ghost or spirit, or was this just an elaborate prank to offset us? I'm very certain that this is very real. After all, who would wake up dead in the night just to pull off a prank like this? What would you do when you hear strange noises coming from the woods close to you late at night? If you said investigated, you're part of the 1% that would. If trail cam videos and horror movies have taught me anything, it's not to investigate weird noises at night alone. You never know what you might be running into. Not everyone, however, received this memo. One such individual was the one who sent in this footage. One evening in Carbondale, Pennsylvania, while near the woods, he heard a strange noise and went to check it out. As he got closer to the source of the noise, he pointed his flashlight in its direction, only for him to have seen what looked like the face of a Yeti. Yeti have never been known to be cowards, but this particular one ran off as soon as he realized the man had found him. My first thought was that the Yeti was spooked, but reviewing the footage, I realized that it was much smaller than all the sightings we've ever reviewed on this channel, which leads me to believe one thing. It's a juvenile, and it was not yet strong enough to confront humans, especially a fully grown one. Whatever the case, the man should be grateful he didn't encounter an angry, aggressive, and much older Yeti. When this image was sent to us, I thought we were dealing with a stick bug. That was at least until I took a critical look at the whole image and realized it was neither a stick bug nor the size of one. I've no idea why I thought that, because we can see a coyote running away from it. The owner of the trail camera was equally perplexed by the footage. They couldn't make sense of what they were seeing and decided to seek answers. After conducting extensive research for days, they came up empty-handed. There doesn't seem to be any mythical creature resembling this peculiar being. Could this be an entirely new form of otherworldly creature? Where did it come from? Why is it here? What does it want? And most intriguingly, why is the coyote running? Is this creature a threat to coyotes, or does it have a taste for even humans? The truth is, we simply don't know. However, our quest for answers won't cease until we have unraveled this enigma. Rest assured, once we uncover the mystery, we'll dedicate an entire video to it. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, now is the perfect time to join the adventure. Subscribe and make sure to hit that notification bell as well, so you'll be the first to know when we upload the exclusive new videos. Normally, rabbits and hares are prey for snakes, which is what makes this footage incredibly captivating. Despite lacking built-in mechanisms to deal with snakes, the rabbits or hare in this video is putting up a fierce defense, determined to keep the snakes away from its territory. It makes you wonder, could there be young ones nearby? Is the brave rabbit or hare doing everything it can to protect its vulnerable offspring from harm? The maternal instincts of these animals can be truly remarkable. Have you witnessed similar behavior in rabbits or hares before? Share your stories in the comments section. Also, can you confirm if it's a hare or a rabbit? I always mix them up. This video had to be included in this list, despite its age. Looking at the video initially, you might be tempted to think that there was nothing extraordinary or worrying about the footage. But after a few more seconds of watching and zooming in, you see the pale creature in the background. Nobody knows what it is, and nobody knows how it arrived in the vicinity, but that creature is rumored to have mauled hikers and other animals that had crossed its path. The locals in the vicinity call it the rake, and it looks like a disfigured human being moving on all fours, despite a bit mummified. In this footage, however, it looked like a moose was its target, but given the dangerous reputation of the creature, I'm surprised the man who posted this in 2018 was able to stand long enough to record this. I would have left long ago immediately after I saw it. There's more to life than being the first person to break the news. Stay safe out there. Camping trips can be fun when safety is assured. When things don't go according to plan, however, it can be a bit chaotic. That cannot in any way be compared to running into an alien. These guys were setting fire to their campsite when they heard an eerie noise behind a tree. Now, mind you, they were in the middle of a forest and didn't expect to have company. They first thought that it was a wild animal, so the boys threw the fire in the direction of the noise to scare it off. After some seconds, a pair of pale, tiny hands reached out to gather warmth from the fire, which was still burning. Once the boys saw it, they quickly fled the scene as they didn't want to risk being hurt, especially when they didn't know what they were dealing with. They never saw the creature again, and neither did they meet anyone who knew what it was. I believe we should call a spade and call this tiny creature what it actually is, an alien. Its big head and tiny body with large eyes are definitely a big indication that it is an extraterrestrial creature, aka an alien. I don't think this group of campers will ever leave to go on such an expedition again. I mean, would you? Returning to our Trailcam videos, at first glance, this Trailcam capture appears to be an innocent shot of the horizon with a raccoon running around the field. But take a second look and you'll notice something intriguing, an array of lights illuminating the sky. What could those lights possibly be? The owner of the trail camera was just as clueless as everyone else. However, upon sharing the capture with others, a common suspicion emerged. It had to be aliens. The next capture, which shows the lights descending closer to the ground, only solidified this belief among all who witnessed it. But could this be aliens, though? The scientific community, always eager to burst the bubble of paranormal enthusiasts, proposes two explanations. The first is that it could be a satellite, but this hesitation was revised due to the movement of the lights. The second theory suggests that the lights might be cobwebs. Interestingly, other Trailcam users tend to agree with the cobwebs theory. But what do you think? Cobwebs or aliens? Let us know in the comments section. And now we have something utterly cute and heartwarming. Get ready to melt from the sheer adorableness of this video featuring a wolf pup trying to howl. Trust me, it's absolutely irresistible. As you watch this little ball of fur and innocence attempting to mimic the majestic howls of its elders, you can't help but be captivated by its pure cuteness. It's moments like these that remind us of the simple joys and wonders of nature. Sit back, relax, and prepare to have your heart warmed as you witness this endearing sight. By human standards, no one should be doing this in public, irrespective of the time. Humans would have been called shameless and ridiculed, but this is the wild where animals can truly be free and, well, wild. If you thought that they were fighting, they aren't. Let's just say they're going to be baby owls in the next few months. To animals, this isn't inappropriate at all. In fact, they're merely satisfying a normal and instinctive drive. Once both birds agreed, there was nothing holding them back. After all, it's not like their kids are going to walk in on them. Even if that were the case, animals move around naked most of the time, so this wouldn't have been a problem. It's a beautiful trail cam footage, if you ask me. The most aggressive type of animals to come across in wildlife are nursing mothers, irrespective of their species. They can be very aggressive and don't mind sacrificing their lives for that of their young ones. This wolf and its cub were rescued by a farmer when the mother was caught in a bear trap which had left it severely wounded. The farmer saved both of them, but once they were safe and the mama wolf recovered, her maternal instincts kicked in. The farmer might have saved her life, but it still considered him a threat and didn't hesitate to show him it would attack and bite if he crossed the line. He was quick enough to avoid her initial attacks, which could have left him severely injured. Fortunately, the farmer understood that the wolf was simply scared and went ahead to call a vet who came over, sedated the mother, and gave her treatment she needed. It was a thankless job, but he did it anyway. Videos like this restore my faith in humanity. Now let's dive back into the captivating world of Bigfoot. Picture this. Residents of Seattle suddenly find themselves haunted by eerie and unexplainable noises echoing from deep within the nearby woods. For those who lived close to the woods, the sounds were nothing short of bone-chilling, striking fear and unease into the hearts of those who dwelled close to the woods. At first, many speculated that these mysterious sounds might be the work of bears. However, this notion was swiftly discarded, as what they were hearing was more ominous and much louder than anything they're accustomed to hearing bears make. What then could be responsible? The answer is in the footage you see currently. If you look closely, you'll see a dark, humanoid yet ape-like creature trying to get away, knowing that it might have been spotted. Although the residents managed to capture additional footage, it's been heavily zoomed in, adding to the challenge of deciphering the enigmatic figure within. The residents, however, know what they had seen. They understood why the sounds they heard were so ominous. There was a new big boy in town, and his name was Bigfoot. This footage may not have been captured by a trail cam, but let me assure you it's just as intriguing as anything you'd see in the wild. Imagine waking up to find your compound in disarray, with trash scattered everywhere. That's exactly what happened to this family. Curiosity piqued, they turned to their security camera footage for answers, and what they saw left them utterly stunned. At first glance, they thought it was a wild animal, perhaps a bear, but as they closely examined the video, they realized that they were witnessing something far more extraordinary, a wolf with a human-like body emerging from their neighbor's property. What made it even more chilling was the fact that the previous night had been a full moon. Could they be living in the close proximity of an actual werewolf? The family couldn't say for sure, but they decided to share the footage online, hoping someone could confirm their suspicions. However, uploading the footage may not have been the best move. Now, if their neighbor truly is a werewolf, he knows that they're onto his trail. Who knows how much longer they have before he decides to act in a peculiar manner. As you watch the footage, I'd like to hear your thoughts. What do you make of this mysterious encounter? Personally, I can't help but feel that uploading the footage may have put the family in greater danger. Take a look at it. Did you see it? Did you see the fish with a human-like face? Upon closer inspection, you'll notice distinct eyes, a nose, and surprisingly pouty lips. I don't even have words for it. Is this some kind of a science experiment gone wrong or a new species of fish? We leave that up to your imagination. Next, we have this very confusing image we just can't seem to make sense of. Can you help? In the footage, we see what looks like a panther with white tusks and a translucent-looking figure by it. At first glance, it might appear as if we're looking at the panther with white tusks resembling those of an extinct saber-toothed tiger. However, upon closer examination, some might argue it could be the backside of the panther. But which is it? Could this be an otherworldly creature, or is it simply a poor image by the Trailcam due to lighting and environmental conditions? Share your thoughts with us. Have you heard about the innovative building constructed in Japan by the renowned Nendo Studio? This incredible structure has been designed to play a pivotal role in reducing carbon emissions and absorbing CO2 from the environment. The building has been constructed using a special type of concrete known as CO2 silicon, which has been engineered to minimize the release of harmful gases during production. The walls of this house have been made from state-of-the-art concrete, making it a pioneering example of eco-friendly architecture. By embracing technologies like this, we can take a significant step toward mitigating the environmental impact of traditional concrete production. What do you think about the future of construction? Do you see this as a game-changing development in the field? In a small town located in South Africa, an unusual and fascinating creature was spotted by some residents. According to eyewitnesses, the creature appeared to be a mermaid with a bluefish tail. It was seen above the water, and it raises its tail before dropping back into the water and swimming away. Conversations about these creatures always start a debate, and this was no different. While some people believe that mermaids are real, others are convinced that they're simply a myth and don't exist. Some viewers even suggest that the creature in question might have been a siren instead of a mermaid, as sirens are also known to inhabit the ocean and have similar traits to mermaids. Despite the debate, many viewers who saw the footage of the mermaid were adamant that it was a genuine sighting and that the creature was, in fact, a mermaid. However, some skeptics argued that it was likely a person in a costume and the footage could have been staged. Looking at the unnatural way it moves in the water, I'm tempted to believe it's true, but that's perhaps just me. What do you think about this fascinating sighting? Do you believe it's the real deal, or do you think that it's just a hoax? Share your thoughts. This is footage of another farmer coming into contact with another nursing mother in the wild, only this time it's a feline belonging to the big cat family. Like the previous farmer, he too knew it was best to keep his distance and watch from afar. The farmer has been paying close attention to the heavily pregnant leopard as it had been frequently visiting one of its sheds. He suspected she might decide to have her cubs there, and he set up a camera to keep tabs on the shelter, just in case it happened as he suspected. Turns out he was spot on and she gave birth in that particular shed. He may have temporarily lost his shed to the wild beast, but his quick thinking made it possible for us to have footage like this. What a beautiful sight to behold. Why would 4 wolves be sniffing one spot? It doesn't look like there's anything there to sniff. Yet they sniffed the area as though they were looking for something. Had the area been marked with a scent they were not familiar with, or were they simply looking for a creature that had gone by that spot? Well, we may never know. That doesn't, however, change the fact that this is awesome footage. Not many Trailcam owners can boast of one like this, especially one with creatures as beautiful and majestic as these. C'est magnifique. Next, we visit a beach in Venezuela where a peculiar phenomenon occurred. The sand on the beach was seen to be shifting and rumbling, creating a commotion among the people present. As the ground opened up, it revealed a strange-looking object that appeared to be rising from beneath the sand. The object was massive, and its shape was difficult to discern due to the sand still clinging to it. There are many speculations about what it could be. Some suggested that it could be nothing but a natural disaster, perhaps a landslide or earthquake waiting to happen. A few people speculated that it could be some creature living underground that was coming out to the surface. Some even went as far as suggesting that it could be an alien ship emerging from the sand. In the absence of any official report, the incident remains a mystery, and people continue to speculate about what it could have been. Having seen the clip, what do you think we're dealing with? On the night of April the 4th, 2024, a surveillance camera in Idaho captured an unusual sight in someone's backyard. The footage shows a craft flying over the property which appeared to have 6 vertical lights. Although the camera quality is not great due to the darkness, the lights are clearly visible. The rest of the craft is difficult to make out, leaving the shape and size a mystery. The owner of the footage is convinced that it was a UFO, given the current hype around UFO sightings on the internet. However, it's difficult to say for sure what it is without further evidence or analysis. It's possible that it could have been a normal aircraft, but the unusual light formation suggests otherwise. What do you think? Next, we have this Trailcam capture from the wild. You don't need to be an animal expert to know that there is a lot wrong with this wild animal. Its eyes look weird, which I doubt the camera and lighting have anything to do with, and one of its horns is pointing the wrong way. Now, here's where things get interesting. Many viewers who saw this capture have put forward theories. Some suggest it could be a mutated deer or the result of a government project gone wrong. But in my opinion, the deer seems to be simply sick and in need of help. What do you think? This footage is a reminder to lock your doors at night before bed and, above all, mind your business. The footage was captured by a family who heard weird noises outside their house but made a smart choice to investigate through their window instead of going out to see for themselves. As you can see from the footage, everything looked normal as they had imagined all they had heard, but out of nowhere, a pale creature emerges from the dark and crawls very fast toward the window. Thankfully, they were able to shut the window in time and the creature disappeared as quickly as it came. But let's take a second look in slow motion. The creature clearly has human-like features, but it crawls instead of walks, and its arms are very skinny and a tad sickly. Everything about it is reminiscent of a rake. If you think otherwise, do not hesitate to mention it in the comments section. A curious individual casting a line into the calm pond came across a strange occurrence. Take a look. At first, we're introduced to what looks like a square-shaped organism peacefully floating on the water's surface. Within seconds, the once solid entity undergoes a perplexing transformation. The square-shaped organism disintegrates, breaking down into a cascade of tiny balls that scatter into the water. The sudden and surreal spectacle begs the question, what could this be? Is it a natural phenomenon, a unique organism with a brief and fleeting existence, or does it suggest something more mysterious beneath the pond's surface? While I want to think those are alien ships, Julius, our geek, states that we may actually be looking at a slow-feeding mechanism for the plants. While that does sound logical, you have to agree that it's less exciting. Anyway, what do you guys think? Strange creatures or slow-dissolving food? Share your thoughts. A woman was piloting a chopper over the coastal lands of Hawaii when all of a sudden the engine failed. The craft almost tipped over and fell. But here's where the plot takes a thrilling turn. This woman is no ordinary pilot. In a split-second decision, she engages in auto-rotation, a daring maneuver that allows her to navigate the failing chopper safely to the beach below. Talk about a close call. In the footage, we see a huge beam of light coming from the mountains that lights up its surroundings in a strange orange glow. The light starts on the ground and goes up into the sky. It looks nothing like an explosion or regular light, but it does bring to mind the Florida video from earlier. So what could this be? Some netizens think it could be aliens, perhaps a signal from outer space. Others wonder if it's just a natural thing like a special play of light and air that we don't yet understand. I don't want to think it's an alien signal because that's never good news, but then again, it's possible this is just another phenomenon we know nothing about. Anyway, what's your idea about what's going on in this unusual scene?
This is the track we're talking about here.
Locals in a quiet rural area stumble upon a giant footprint in the mud, and it's no ordinary print. This footprint, etched in the earth, reveals the distinct features of a Bigfoot track, massive in size with toes clearly imprinted in the mud.
Yeah, we was noticing the toenail marks on here, as you can see in the camera here. Yeah, right in that area right there.
Could this be evidence of the elusive Bigfoot roaming the rural landscape, leaving its mark in the mud? Some do think so, but what do you think? A group of fishermen had a unique catch recently that has left many intrigued. They managed to catch a landsfish from the ocean, which is a rare species of fish that is not often seen. The fish was long and slender with a silver body that shimmered in the sunlight. Its most notable feature was a set of long fins on its back that resembled a sail, giving it a distinctive appearance. Despite its striking appearance, the fishermen were initially unsure what type of fish it was. Some speculated that it could be a hybrid of a barracuda and a sailfish. Looking at it, I can see why they think that. Someone even said that it was a result of underwater nuclear testing. However, after some research, we confirmed that it was truly a lancetfish. For those unfamiliar with it, it's a deep-sea fish that is known to live at depths of up to 1,500 meters. They're known for their elongated and slender bodies, sharp teeth, and long dorsal fin that runs the length of their body. They're often found in the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans and are known to be formidable predators, feeding on a variety of smaller fish and squid. Cool, huh?
See you later, bud.
Recently, a group of people on a boat ride in a river came across an alligator making its way toward them. The passengers began filming the scene because, well, why not? But as the alligator got closer, the situation became increasingly tense. They noticed he was out for blood. Without warning, the alligator leapt out of the water, clearly attempting to get into the boat or at least grab one of the passengers. Naturally, the passengers were taken aback and quickly backed away as the reptile landed on the side of the boat and then fell off. Alligators are massive in size, with an average length of 13 feet and can weigh up to 1,000 pounds. However, they're also known to be dangerous predators, capable of causing serious harm to humans and animals alike. Thankfully, no one was hurt. If you intend to visit a place with gators, let this be your cue to be extra safe out there. Next, we have this alleged Bigfoot dashcam capture. And yes, I used the word alleged. Watch, and you may just see why. Do you see it? In the footage, we see a faint but very present figure moving in the distance as the vehicle is driving towards it. Within a few seconds, he disappears into the foliage. The individual driving is very convinced it's a Bigfoot and states his dashcam captured it. My problem with this is dashcams don't move around as they are stationary, unless of course he's using some modern type of equipment. Looking at the quality of the footage though, I can say I highly doubt that. What do you think? This woman took some snow and melted it into a glass cup. Then she took a magnet and placed it on the cup. Look at what happens. The dark substance in the water moves toward the magnet. Is this what's in our waters? People were taken aback by this demonstration, but one viewer had quite an interesting take on it. They wrote this: "Dust particles contain bits of iron from all sorts of agricultural and industrial industries. These dust particles rise up into the clouds and then come down in the form of rain or snow. Since snow is frozen water, it will hold more of these dust particles. Thus, when it snows, if you grab a handful of it and melt it into a container, you'll find dirt, iron, microplastics, and other elements." In the end, they also added that there might be whatever else the governments of the world put into the atmosphere to geoengineer our climate or potentially affect our health. What do you think?
It literally just happened. There are so many police here now. It's crazy. So these two cars, and they found some of the landing gear over there. They think it was a United 777.
In this parking lot, something fell from the sky, landing on the back of a car and totally crushing its roof. And look at the fence behind as well. It looks bent backwards. Some people said that it was the landing gear of a plane that fell down, but there's no indication of the said object on the scene of the incident. Looking at the condition of the car and the fence, the impact needed to cause this much damage is very huge. Luckily, there was no one in the car and no one was hurt. But still, how did the landing gear just fall off? Now, whenever we leave our homes, we should not only watch out for bad guys and aliens, but also look up in case a landing gear is just heading for our heads. Check this out. A guy's normal drive turns into a surprise after he stops at a red light. A little creature, about 2 feet tall, zooms across the street super fast. At first, you might think it's just a stray animal common in cities, but a closer look at the video and you'll see that the creature appears to be walking on 2 legs, so definitely not your regular 4-legged animal. Now the big question is, what is this 2-legged thing? My mind naturally thought of a tiny monkey, but the uploader says there's none in the area. He suspects it's a paranormal creature, and given the circumstances, well, you can't fault him for thinking that way. But do tell me, what do you see when you look at the creature? And what do you think it was doing out there at that time of night? Watch this footage closely and tell me where the man in the pink shirt came from. Take a look at the footage again. A man in a pink shirt seemingly materializes out of thin air in front of a woman in a costume. He appears to be filming her, and what's more perplexing, neither the woman nor the people around seem to notice his sudden appearance. Is this a glitch in the Matrix, a momentary rift in the fabric of reality where someone crosses over from the unseen? Share your thoughts. Take a journey into the heart of the city, deep underground, where a network of ossuaries hold the remains of around 6 to 7 million people. The footage shows an eerie scene of human skeletons arranged in a meticulous pattern. Back in the 18th century, these catacombs were made to keep the remains of the dead because there was not enough space for burial grounds. The bones of millions were carefully moved underground, creating a surreal space where the deceased could rest in a new way. Is this a place you'd visit? I don't know about you, but I doubt I can bring myself to do this. Some even speculate that it was not a burial place, but a place where large-scale murders were carried out. What do you think, though? There are theories of strange chemicals in our air and even metals. Could that be why this group of individuals are standing out with metal detectors in their hands? It sounds weird, but the original posts seem to suggest so. As you can see in the footage, these people are all standing outside on a field, holding metal detectors above their heads with hope of detecting any metal. However, as you listen to the footage, you can hear these strange sounds coming from the devices. But looking at the devices, are they not beeping because they're detecting each other? The devices are made of metal. However, a commenter made this comment. As someone who has metal detected as a hobby for 4+ years, they aren't going off because of metal in the air. The reasons all the detectors are going off is because they're ringing off of each other. This happens all the time and is very annoying if you're metal detecting with someone else in a small space. This is another fear lingering post. While there may be some theories about the presence of strange metals or chemicals in our atmosphere, this particular exercise may not be the best way to verify such claims. Take a moment to admire the sheer size and beauty of the Tibetan Mastiff, a truly magnificent breed of dog. With its thick, long, and luxurious brown fur, muscular build, and regal appearance, this breed is considered one of the largest dogs in the world. Originated from the lofty mountains of Tibet, these majestic canines have been bred for centuries to guard livestock and property and are known for their courage, loyalty, and independence. They're highly intelligent and have a strong protective instinct, making them excellent watchdogs. The Tibetan Mastiffs are calm and patient, but they can be stubborn at times. They require plenty of exercise and mental stimulation to stay healthy and happy. They're also known to be quite vocal and will bark loudly if they sense any potential threats. Despite their imposing size and appearance, the Tibetan Mastiff is a gentle and loving breed that thrives with human companionship. They're great with children and make loyal and protective family pets. Whether you're a dog lover or simply appreciate the beauty and majesty of nature's creatures, the Tibetan Mastiff is truly a sight to behold. Animals are much smarter than we give them credit for. In this video, we see an opossum who seems to have had a very long day in the sun. You can tell from the way it moved that it needed to cool down, and it settled for the makeshift jungle jacuzzi that had been left in its path. The said jacuzzi is a plastic bowl perfectly placed between some rocks under the shade of a tree. The possum has a great time rolling in the tub and cooling off from the heat of the day. Once he felt refreshed, he walked out of the tub and continued his day. Whoever built this deserves hugs and kisses. Perhaps we should build more of these for them since we keep damaging their habitats. This next footage was taken from the surveillance camera in someone's backyard. The view seems like a peaceful night until someone or something is seen trying to scale the wall into the house. It rethinks its decision and casually climbs down. Although we can't tell what it is, once the footage is zoomed in, it looks human, but not completely. Some who saw the footage think it's a skinwalker, while others think it might have been an apparition. No one knows what it is, and no one can tell why it decided not to climb into the house again. Whatever the reason, the owners of the house might be glad it didn't come in. The concept of a matrix glitch often emerges when people encounter inexplicable or seemingly contradictory situations that challenge our understanding of reality. Take a look at this footage, for instance. A man is swinging in a chair, his arm seemingly hooked into the chair's arm. However, as soon as he stands up, his hand is magically out of the chair's hook. This is what people consider a glitch in the Matrix. Although skeptics may think that it could be a trick of perspective, many in the paranormal community think we're looking at a modern glitch. Having seen it, what do you think it is? In this recent video, someone captured a peculiar light bouncing around in the night sky. Some suggest it could be an ether ship plasma energy, evoking thoughts of extraterrestrial phenomena, a mysterious craft navigating the celestial canvas. Skeptics opted for more grounded explanations. Some stated that it might be an unconventional aircraft, atmospheric anomalies, or the interplay of light reflecting off earthly objects. What's your perspective on this cosmic light display? Is it the dance of an ether ship, a celestial energy phenomenon, or is there a more earthly explanation for this captivating show in the night sky? Have you ever wondered what the undersea cable system for our internet looks like? If you have, you're in luck. If you haven't, well, still enjoy this. This is what the connection made for the internet fibric optic cables looks like connected to the sea. Undersea fibric optic cables are like hidden highways under the ocean, made of thin strands of glass or plastic. They carry data using light signals, making communication fast and reliable across long distances. These cables are placed on the ocean floor, often very deep down, connecting continents and countries to form a giant network. Even though they're super important, most people don't even notice them. Putting these cables in place and keeping them working is tough work. Special ships and gear are needed to carefully lay them on the ocean floor and make sure they stay put. They have to be constantly watched and fixed to avoid any problems from nature or people. These cables are a big deal for global communication. They make talking to someone on the other side of the world almost as easy as talking to your neighbor. Without them, the internet and all the connections we rely on wouldn't be possible. Don't believe me? Check with Africa. Most of the continent experienced power problems a few months ago when cables belonging to MTN, one of the continent's biggest communication giants, were damaged. Thankfully, they were able to find a way around it. That should tell you how important these things are. You and I are fortunate to live in a time like this. Never forget that. Has the recent AI craze got you worried about computers taking over the world? Well, I hate to do this, but your worries are about to get a whole lot bigger. Intel has just rolled out Hala Point, and it's a big deal in the world of neuromorphic computing. This beast is the largest neuromorphic computer ever made, boasting 1,152 Lothi-2 chips. These chips mimic a whopping 1.15 billion artificial neurons and a mind-boggling 128 billion synapses spread across a whopping 140,544 processing cores. This means it can handle a staggering 20 quadrillion operations per second, which is a huge leap from Intel's previous system, Pahokee Springs. Hala Point blows it out of the water, offering over 10 times the neuron capacity and up to 12 times higher performance. Why does this matter? Well, it's a game changer when it comes to the hefty computing costs of training AI models. With Hala Point, Intel aims to slash the time and resources needed to train these models. This could mean big improvements in AI applications across industries like healthcare, finance, and transportation. This is a major milestone in neuromorphic computing. Its impressive processing power and massive neuron capacity could change the game for AI training and deployment. It's a sign of exciting things to come in the world of computing. Unless AI goes bad and attacks us, of course, but that will never happen, right? Still in Mexico, or rather on the waters of Mexico, sea voyagers bear witness to not one, but 5 water sports. These twisting tall columns of wind descend from the clouds to the water, resembling thin, spinning tubes or ropes hanging down from the heavens. They're like mini tornadoes over the water, a natural spectacle that's both fascinating and formidable. While these watery whirlwinds can be a captivating display of nature's forces, it's crucial to approach them with caution. Water spouts, unpredictable by nature, can unleash strong winds and pose a risk, especially for those on boats.
Shit started coming, man. I was like, what the fuck? I bullshit you not, dude. Like, I never saw you this shit ever happened before in my life. Tell me, are they wrapping shit now?
When we say the world is getting stranger by the day, it's no joke. Take a look at this footage, for instance. A man purchased watermelon, and here's what happened. Yup, he's rinsing the watermelon and the skin with the patterns is just peeling off as though it were a sticker. I've always thought of people who say the government was messing with our foods as conspiracy theorists, but with the kind of things I'm seeing of late, I'm tempted to believe them. Perhaps we ought to take this news and research into genetically modified food more seriously than we are. Do you guys think we need to be extra careful with our food? Has anyone encountered something like this? Kindly share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section. I'll be reading. While embarking on a seemingly ordinary boat ride, an unsuspecting Facebook user stumbled upon something rather intriguing. After sharing the video of his wild adventure on social media, an observant viewer drew the attention of the uploader to a curious presence in the water. Upon closer examination, you can make out a pair of human-like arms and the head of black hair. The mysterious entity navigates the river with an uncanny agility, swimming at a pace that defies conventional expectations. If it were a human, the need for air would require resurfacing, yet the creature continues its aquatic ballet beneath the surface. This has led us, including Aaron, the skinwalker lover, to entertain the idea that the boat stumbled upon a real-life mermaid. Now, the question remains, was it just enjoying a leisurely swim beneath the waves, or was there a more sinister reason? I guess we'll never know. Still in Asia, let's go to Shenyang, China. A peculiar phenomena caught the attention of numerous onlookers, a mysterious pillar of light stretching into the sky. The scene gathered a crowd eager to capture the enigmatic occurrence on camera. Even experts, upon analyzing the spectacle, found themselves at a loss for a definitive explanation. Various theories were proposed by those witnessing the event. Some speculated that it could be an unusual cloud formation, while others considered the possibility of water vapor contributing to the optical display. Despite collective efforts to decipher the nature of the phenomena, a concrete answer remains a mystery. The unidentified pillar of light stands as a captivating and unexplained occurrence, leaving both spectators and experts intrigued by its enigmatic presence. A motorbike rider was cruising through a deserted area when he came across this unusual sight, a lifeless goat seated like a human leaning against a pole. Now, this certainly isn't your usual sight, so what could be happening here? Some link it to a dark connection, hinting at a possible involvement in a satanic ritual where symbolism and ritualistic acts are thought to possess mysterious powers. Others connect it to the realm of voodoo, a practice deeply rooted in various cultures that involves manipulating energies and forces. But what or who do you think could have arranged this surreal seating of the goat? Is it dark arts, a venture into the occult, or maybe a mischievous prankster with a theatrical touch? Share your thoughts in the comments. Now, what do we have here? This strange creature was found floating in the sea by some fisher folks. Despite their experience at sea, they claim that they've never seen anything like this. It had 2 humanoid heads and the rest of its body looked like it was made of tentacles. But then again, it looked nothing like an octopus. Naturally, they uploaded this online and it spread like wildfire since. Some think we might be dealing with a sea monster with 2 heads, whilst some are wondering if it's a sea monster we're yet to document. Julius believes there must be a logical explanation to this, whilst Aaron thinks it's a sign we have been judged by the sea gods. What's your take on this? Still on floating objects, this strange object was found floating in the sky in France, Paris to be specific. It's a vertical black rectangle.
Tu filmes là?
As theories started swirling, some believe it could be the crafty work of artificial intelligence, a digital apparition painted onto the sky. Others, with eyes to the extraterrestrial, entertain the notion that it might be something alien, perhaps a cosmic visitor making a statement. What's your take on this avant-garde Parisian spectacle? A creation of AI artistry, or a sign of something beyond our earthly comprehension? If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do so now? It goes a long way to help us make more of these videos for you. Thank you so much. Now back to today's episode. Next, you might want to hold onto your sombreros because we've got a celestial spectacle in the Mexican skies that's sparking quite the debate. In the footage, you can see a strange star-shaped object gracefully descending behind some bushes. It's the kind of sight that looks like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. As the footage circulates, opinions started pouring in. Some pragmatic folks suggest it might be a balloon or perhaps a drone, while others with an extraterrestrial flair throw the idea of an alien craft into the mix. But here's where it takes a turn toward the mystical. There are whispers of it being an angel. Yeah, you heard it right. An angelic being descended from the heavens. Evidence-wise, well, there's not much to go on there. But what's your take on this mysterious Mexican sky show? A mere balloon or drone, a potential UFO, or perhaps an angelic visitation? And for our final clip of the day, we thought we'd end with something amusing. Take a look at this footage and put yourself in this situation. You're running from someone and you come across a metal fence. In a desperate move, you jump over the wall by boosting yourself using the fence. Now your chaser is on the other side of the fence and you think you have the upper hand. So what do? You stand there, staring at your chaser from the other side, feeling a sense of relief and teasing him a little. But then all of a sudden, he simply opens the door on the fence and steps through. The fence wasn't locked at all. What would your next move be in this situation? And with that, we end today's episode. Thanks for staying with us. Before you go, with there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this video with someone you love, and I'll see you in the next one.